Welcome back, people. It is episode 42 of season 4 of the Taxi Squad podcast. We got a fair amount to get into today, but before we do so, hit that subscribe button in the lower right hand or left hand corner. Pick a corner, any corner. We appreciate all the YouTube views as of recent, and if you'd like to continue to see these beautiful faces week after week, you know what to do. And of always, wherever you're listening, thank you. We got a fair amount to get into today. Strange and unusual topics about Caucasian kids who think their dads are rich, and
What
they
else
probably are,
is
but they're assholes.
new?
And then we do have a weekly breakdown in NCAA football, which may be, just maybe, one of the best weeks of college football we've seen in recent memory. MLB postseason talk, NLCS that's getting hot, ALCS that could potentially be over. Look at the little hat. And then some NFL picks. Mike is not allergic to greatness. That's all I got to say.
Da Bears.
We appreciate you being back, people. It's the Taxi Squad podcast.
Come on, everybody, celebrate. The Taxi Squad is here today. So lose the blues, kick back and relax for now. They talk about sports and stupid stuff. So they're probably wrong and it might get rough. So welcome back. It's the Taxi Squad. Yeah.
Vince, who's got better than us? Huh?
Absolutely nobody, my friend.
I need more convincing. Who's got it better than us?
absolutely no one.
Nobody. Let's go.
Nobody at all. Yeah, actually, you know what, guys? We've been playing this a couple times before this recording, and I think we should just play it one more time. So without further ado,
What? Oh, Jesus.
hey, 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 hey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tech Squad.
All right. That last one, dude. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's how I feel currently right now. I feel like I'm in
Nice.
the Mario world, if you will. You better believe
Really?
that the fart dashboard's making one more roll around the sun this week. I think I'm keeping this
Really?
forever. So
Really?
that's Fart Beat by Jerry. Thanks, Jerry. I don't know who you are.
Jerry, fuck going on. Shout out to Jerry. Thanks, Jerry. He was a race car driver.
That's a
Also a
song.
good dude. That is a song.
Also, I'd
Joe
like to
Toast Fast.
apologize for every single person that played the nuclear one and it was not on headphones
Ugh.
and
Oh.
it just kind of resonated throughout the world. Because I got a couple
Yes.
of those like, hey, that was funny, but that nuclear one was fucking loud. And I turned it down probably
welcome.
100% and it still was too loud. So sorry about
You're
that.
welcome.
Man. I
You're
guess,
welcome.
yeah, that's
Don't
true.
apologize, Vince. They
Yeah,
need
this
to
is-
know.
This is the Headphones On podcast. If you haven't figured that out yet, that's on you, if I'm being honest.
Let the kids listen, right?
Yeah.
Let the
I mean-
kids listening to the boys. To let them know, they might hear some things. They got to earmuff it up a little bit, but that's fine.
Yeah, tell
We're
your boss
podcast
that
for the
it's
people,
cool.
people.
This is fine. These are good guys just playing fart noises. Get over it, dude.
And let's face it, if your boss walks in while you're listening to us, I mean, they got to be semi-cool, right? If not, you're at the wrong job.
That's a good point. If you get fired,
Right?
they deserved to fire you. You didn't deserve to get fired. You know what I'm saying? Like they got the bad
Yeah.
side of the deal. If you can't get around, I'm not gonna play it again on Fart Beat by Jerry, then that's your boss's fucking problem. And that's why we are who we are. So I love you guys and thank you. And I'm gonna play it again at some point in this episode, and no one's gonna know when it's gonna happen. So I think I know when it's gonna happen.
As Crazy Woman would say on dating apps, if you can't handle me at my worst, you can't
Yeah.
have me at my best.
That's the female equivalent of the fish picture.
What's the fish picture?
You know, like when the guy catches a fish and he puts it on his hinge.
Oh,
I don't do that,
yeah.
but it's like,
I was
yeah,
not
it's like
that guy.
guy with fish. It's like cool. Woman's is like, if you can't handle me at my worst, you can't handle me at your best. I'm like, oh, are you a bad bitch? Are we talking bad bitches right now?
That's immediate, like, she's got a baby daddy by the name of Tyrone.
Most possibly.
And that kid's name is like, I don't know, something
Equinemia
goofy.
St. Brown?
Could be, yeah, like one of the sun gods or something, and he is not around.
Or
But,
Vince.
he's you. Those are also the girls that have like tattoos on their hips pointing
Mhm.
down to the main goal area.
Oh,
The
the
gold
knees, yeah.
zone, one could call it,
The
right?
knees of the gold, right?
The knees, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So those are those kind of girls, and then, all these things, boys, by the way, red flags. Huge red flags.
Yeah,
If you
man.
see it, run other
No,
direction.
my problem is I'm like, let me go check this out. Let me go see what's the weather
Uh,
like, and then I'm like, I don't know if that was good or not.
those are the
Yeah,
kind of girls that get you into fights with other
Mike,
dudes,
let me tell you, you've
right?
been retired for a while here. Let
I'm
me
just saying. I remember the days, Vince. I know
shit
I've been
don't
retired for
change.
almost a decade plus, but I'm just saying.
Shit don't change. The more things change, the more they stay the same,
In
Michael.
the words of the poetic prophet Tupac Shakur, some things will
Okay,
never
that's how
change.
you say it. Yep.
Just saying. Maybe a government plant, maybe a CIA plant
I don't know. Let's
to
ask Diddy.
produce
And
hip
now
hop.
having Diddy on the show. What's up, P Diddy? What's up, Sean Combs? That'd be
Take
sick.
that,
All
take
right.
that.
One of these days. We are not
One
good
day.
enough. We are not good enough to not take P Diddy on the podcast right now if you want to get on. So I'll just say
I
like
mean,
to say it off the top.
yeah, either that or R. Kelly. Like, have you ever seen
Yeah.
the footage of R. Kelly talking about how he can just take any two words and create them into a song?
Yeah. Real talk. What
Oh, it's
they eat
fantastic.
don't make you shit. Real talk.
Like, it is so. He was such a comical human. And then
Uh-huh.
people were like amazed that when all these things came out of the grooming and the this and the that,
Yeah.
like, you're that surprised? Have you listened to some of this man's
We
music?
knew he was a sick boy. We knew he was a
He was
sick
on
man.
some he was on some shit, and then now you listen back on some of those Diddy songs. It's like, you were more than my girl. We were like brothers. You're like, wait, whoa, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Makes more
whoa,
sense. You want to know what
whoa.
else is sick, Mike?
What?
A man by the name of Jack Callis. Can I tell you a little story real quick?
Jack Callis? Who's Jack Callis?
Jack Callis is a fan of the Baltimore Ravens. Jack Callis, his name is
Why are we
John. He goes
talking
by
about this
Jack.
guy? Okay.
First off, the nickname Jack for John is always comical to me.
Who the fuck came up with this?
Uh, it's been a thing for a long time, and a lot of Jacks
Who?
are Johns that go by
Who?
Jack. Who? Are you an
What?
owl?
It's like these fucking guys who are named like
Damn, you're coming in hot
Robert.
already. You're pissed already.
No, it's like these fucking guys that are like Robert, or I don't know, William or something, and then just somehow out of the fucking blue, there's Skip.
Yeah.
Who gave you the right to say you could name yourself after something you do when you're happy? Right? Who the fuck gave you that right
Who gave you the
to
right?
call
Well,
yourself that? Because you know good as shit, okay, that came into effect a little bit later in life after high school. You got your books pushed down one too many times because your name was fucking Theodore or some shit. And then one day you come up with the
But you can
fucking
go by
bright
Ted.
idea that I'm
Ted's cool.
Skip. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
Uh,
And Skip. Go ahead.
yeah. Skip. Dude,
Skip.
it's like
Here's the thing, Skip.
it's
Even
like when
to my point, Skip Bayless, perfect example. I want to know his real name because I put good money on it that it's not fucking Skip.
well, it's like Dwight Eisenhower going by Ike. Right?
Yeah.
Hey Mike. Skip
Yeah,
Bayless's
talk
name
about
is
Jack Callis.
Skip Bayless's name is John.
See?
Okay. Don't know how those connect
Bullshit.
at all.
The name Skip on the whole, bullshit.
Okay, I agree with you.
There you go.
But yeah, regardless, Jack Callis, bad guy. Want to start this off hot. So this is a guy
Not a
that's
good person.
been he's getting chastised by the internet. And a lot of times this happens, I'm like, okay, we're going a little too far here. I don't think we went too far with this guy because he seems like a primo piece of human garbage.
So he sounds like a perfect segment for Strange and Unusual. So what
Yeah.
did he do, Vince? What did he do? What did he
Jack
do?
Callis went to the Ravens and the Commanders game, notoriously like 40 miles in between the two stadiums, something like that. he was quoted leaving the game that he was looking for stragglers wearing Commanders jerseys to assault them, essentially. He was looking for people in a Commanders jersey so he can walk up and sucker punch them in the face. He randomly assaulted unsuspecting smaller Commanders fans and ran up to a camera and said, "I don't fucking lose," quote unquote. That video went hyper viral on the internet, which proceeded to make a lot of people either having firsthand interactions with the man and also other people researching what he's done in the past to this list of things that he's done. Jack Callis in high school kicked out of 3 private schools, once most notably for putting his genitalia on a kid with special needs. Uh, the guy also went on to explain that his dad is super rich, which not surprised by that at all, which allows him to get into multiple schools. So he got kicked out of 3 high schools. He was once on probation for a misdemeanor assault, which, yeah, he's clearly good at assaulting people. He wore a Freddie Gray costume. For those of you that don't know who Freddie Gray was, he was an African American man that was murdered. He
Oh,
wore a costume of that guy.
okay.
Very good, very much in good taste. Um, he's now, since this video came up, been fired from his job, and Baltimore police are currently looking for him, facing up to 8 years in jail for assaults because he assaulted people on the street unknowingly. It wasn't like a hand-in-hand combat situation. The man just walked up, hit somebody smaller than him, and said, "I can't fucking lose." This guy's a fucking turd. He's a piece of shit, in my opinion.
Hold on.
And everything that's coming at him, yeah, I agree.
Hold on.
Okay. Yeah,
So
back him up.
so let's back up the bus a little bit here.
Okay.
If I'm gonna throw a dart, he is a 20-something Caucasian male
Yeah,
who
probably.
went to University in Maryland or some shit.
Could have.
Dad owns a trust fund. My dad'll sue your dad type of deal. Am I on?
That's
Am
how
I
it seems based on the
probably a
video I
frat
saw of him.
king?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
he sent a
That
dick pic
tracks.
to a girl, and she printed it and put pictures up everywhere because he
Awesome.
allegedly sexually assaulted her. So, yeah, fuck that guy.
Well, okay. So some of this is par for course because this type exists out in the world.
Oh yeah.
If you've been out in the world, especially if your age is 20 to 40 something, you've seen this guy.
If you ever went to college,
Right.
there was one of those.
He-
Everybody had one of those.
Right. Everybody had one. He's that one. Now, he decided to make it a sport.
Lifelong goal.
Unfortunately, he was out sucker punching people
Yeah.
and then saying, "I don't fucking lose."
Yeah.
This is the type of guy. For me, it's like you fuck around with the special needs kids. I'm
Right, fuck
sorry.
you.
You are a terrible human.
Agreed.
I don't like you. I don't want to like you. It makes me want to actually fight people when I
Yep.
hear that type of stuff because that is just atrocious. And those kids, they didn't choose to be that way. They were born
Correct.
that way. So it's horrible. And with that, this kid's scumbag. Granted, you hope he gets what's coming to him. Chances
yeah.
are he'll do community service or whatever. But the
best lawyers in the
attitude
DC.
and the behavior will continue. And one day, just one day, you're going to knock on the shoulder of the wrong person with this type of thing and get your lights knocked out.
Yeah,
So,
your ankles are at your ears at some point. It's what I'm hoping that happens.
karma's a mother effer.
To quote
tell you that
JoJo Siwa, karma's a bitch.
Oh God, he should have known better. Oh boy.
Yeah, she was on the
Where
Talk to
we
a
go?
podcast. Very cool. Yeah, this guy's a piece of
Don't
shit.
care.
And to just walk up and just attack people like that is bullshit. He obviously has never had to
Well,
pay for his actions before.
he's a PAB,
Yeah.
aka pussy ass bitch.
Yep.
He doesn't understand. Okay, like I said, these guys, these little guys, these LDS guys, little dick syndrome guys, eventually they get knocked the fuck out, and then they never do it again, or they
Yeah.
continue to do it in the aspirations of potentially proving to themselves that they're an quote tough guy.
See, that's what needs to happen is I think he needs to get his ass beat. He was a pretty big dude,
Yeah.
but
Get his ass
yeah,
beat.
He needs to go to jail. He's a public menace, and fuck that guy for doing that. But
Now, the people filming him, they also have no moral compass.
what are they supposed to, they didn't know he was going to go and attack somebody. He said he was just looking for stragglers. And like, what do you mean? And he ran up to a guy and punched him in the face and then ran off and said, I don't fucking lose.
Yeah, no.
Are they supposed to hop in the fight, though? I mean, I see what you're saying, but are they supposed to just go up there and start attacking him then?
You're filming it. This is the problem with the world today. People
But
are
to that
telling
point,
you
this
what they're gonna
kind of
do.
worked a little bit. He
Yeah,
didn't
but they
say what
still
he was
haven't
going to do.
found
He said, I'm on the hunt for stragglers. And they're like, what do you mean, bro? And then he just walked up and housed the guy. Unless it was his friend or some shit, and then they posted it, and that friend's a piece of shit too. But this guy, I mean, he got what he
I'm
deserved.
assuming
Yeah.
knowing the type, it's a friend.
Yeah.
Like, watch this, bro.
Watch Jack
I'm gonna
Harris go
randomly-
ham.
Yeah, and it's not like they destroyed the Commanders. They beat them by a touchdown. So.
Yeah, and the Ravens are fucking good, but it's just more like, yeah, fuck this
They're not
guy.
that
And
good. You know who's a better record than the Ravens?
you can't count it by record, Mike.
The Bears. Just
Yeah,
saying.
I agree, but you can't count it by record.
He won't face 8 years in jail.
He
He'll
won't.
go. He'll get community service
He's
at a church
facing
or
it.
something.
He's probably gonna get some bullshit side thing, but he did fucking house that guy, which was a problem. It's just I don't get the interest in doing that. But yeah, fuck this guy forever.
He was looking for
And
clicks. Hey, we're talking about him, right? So there you go. I guess we gave him what he wanted.
not
Move on.
all press ain't good press. That's a saying, but it ain't. College football happened this week, Mike.
College football was maybe one of the best weekends of college football I've seen
2 weeks in a
a
row.
long time. Yeah,
2 weeks
it was
in a row.
wonderful. But this week
Parody's
was
back.
the week. This week was the week, Vince.
Parody's back. Notre Dame won 49-7. Very cool. I don't really want to
Who'd they
talk about it
play?
all that much. They played Stanford. They
Yeah.
fucked them up, so I don't really want to talk about it that much.
Yay.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that makes one of our
Yay.
teams winning. You know what I'm saying?
Yay.
Red River shootout turned into the Red River firing squad because fucking Texas decimated OU.
I explained it last week that game could get out of hand fast, and boy, did it ever. The
did.
first quarter was close.
Do you want to talk
That was
about our
it.
text messages in the first quarter?
All right, Quinn Ewers came out slow, and then I was like, just put Arch. Oh,
I can hear you.
my bad. Put Arch back in. If you're watching YouTube, you just saw Mike's little mic drop there.
Yeah. Hey. Good one.
If you saw Arch Manning over the past few weeks, I will tell you this: the kid looks great.
Yeah.
And granted, they were playing UL Monroe and Troy or Texas Tech or whoever the fuck they played. But he still looks great. Quinn Ewers, his first 2 drives could not hit the broadside of a barn. And I'm just text Vince. I simply said, put in Arch. It's Arch time. I said, maybe at the half of this performance continues. And you're like, he'll figure it out. And sure, shit.
Well, I was more like, give him a little bit of time. You can't just bench him 1-2 drives in. You got to give the boy a second to figure it back out.
In the world of college football, I think we forget, and especially our generation, which is the millennial group, that these Gen Z kids, they need the love all the time, because if you don't love them, they're going to jump. They're going to go somewhere else.
And they're
It's not
allowed
like
to,
the
yeah.
Right. And it's not the days of, oh, well, I fucked up, and so coach just tells me I'm horrible and that I'll never amount to nothing and figure it out and never do it again.
Yeah.
Because if you said that to a kid today, he'll just transfer.
Yeah.
So it's
I mean, that's a
slippery slope.
catch-all thing, but yeah, I agree. It's
So
like,
sometimes my mentality is not necessarily correct, where I see 2 terrible throws on 2 drives consecutive, and I'm like, fuck them, put in Arch.
yeah,
Fine.
that's what we call an overreaction, Mike.
Nah.
Because
Nah.
what happened to the rest of the game is that they scored 34 unanswered points and won the game 34-3. Oklahoma struggles in Norman. Brent Venables
Here's
chopping
my
his head
next
off at the
question.
stake.
Here's my next question. Is Venables out in the next 3 weeks?
I mean, it is first year in the SEC. They are 4-2. Texas is the best they've been since Vince Young, maybe.
Texas, this may be one of the best Texas teams over the
Like, ever,
past
ever.
20 years.
Yeah, they're fucking Like, their defense is great. Like, we knew their offense was gonna be good, but their defense is playing at a clip that is almost impossible to track. They're clearly the best team in the country.
Let's
3
just talk
points.
about their starting five in the middle. That offensive line
Yep,
has been together now for a matter of 3 years,
yep.
and it shows. Quinn Ewers has an hour to throw the football. They are glass eaters. They tear people apart. A stout defensive line in Oklahoma just got embarrassed. Michigan, same thing. Those kids are impressive. I think you got at least 3 to 4 first day draft
First
picks on
rounds,
that
yeah.
line.
Oh, yeah.
And with that, it's why I believe, not to bury the lead here, Texas has a legitimate shot of winning a national title.
I think,
Book that.
like, we don't know how these playoffs are gonna go. Shit can get wonky, we know that. But they feel like they're definitely the best team in the country. I think it's hard to argue that. Oklahoma, we knew it was gonna be a weird year. It definitely is, but you go and play OU plays Texas every single year. This is a big old Red River rivalry, Red River shootout, Red River firing squad, if you will. You can't do
Red
this.
River.
This is like the Red River's red in their complete and blood. That's all that is. So
Well, friend of the podcast, Norman Nate, was in fact there, and I explained that
yeah,
it's not going to end well. I
and it
said, we'll see
didn't.
if you're there by the half. And he said,
Did
oh,
you
have
do
some faith.
did you do a check-in with him to make sure he's alive?
No, I'm sure he's fine. I haven't checked in yet. I'm sure he's doing great.
Yeah.
We'll get him back on here before the end of the CFB.
Yeah, I
It's
think before the
just one of these.
playoffs.
Totally. We
Yeah.
should do that. It's on the books. It's just one of these situations here where you look at this game. Venables has to be out.
Feels like it.
You gotta go look at a coach. Maybe who's the head coach at Indiana? The guy who claims that, yeah, look at my
Oh,
Google me.
Italian
He said,
King. Why would he leave
Google me.
Indiana for
I don't lose
Oklahoma, though?
because it's a storied franchise and you
Yeah,
can get into
Google
the
me, I don't
SEC.
lose. I know, but Indiana is now becoming a team too. Kurt Signetti.
Yeah, get Signetti in there. He knows the SEC.
James
Coach
Madison, he won with them.
won at Indy. He can win anywhere he goes.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you? He's using IU as a platform. It's not his overall goal. You started James Madison. You were an assistant at Bama. You go to James Madison, make your name. It's like the cycle you take when you're a offensive coordinator in the lovely game known as college football 25.
Right. Yeah.
And you work your way to get into the SEC or a Big Ten school. So
Maybe, possibly. It does feel like that leash is short.
IU is Big Ten, correct?
Yes, and they're kind of a squad.
Well, maybe his goal is just to bring IU to relevance again.
If they could become, and I put that on here too, but Indiana becoming like a Big Ten powerhouse would be quite a move. Quite a move in today's like environment in college football. It'd be awesome. And looks like the top of the Big Ten isn't that ferocious anymore, Mike, if you will.
Okay.
Wait, what game are we going to talk about?
All right, Vince, let's talk about your by far the best game of the weekend.
Ohio State, Oregon?
It was the best game of the weekend. I said it was going to be a close game.
I hear Ohio State and I say, you know what I'm saying? Because Ryan Day, what's going on, Ryan Day? I thought Oregon was a fake ranked team. Ryan Day, what happened? Ryan Day,
all right,
what happened?
I'll give Dylan Gabriel
pretty
his
good.
roses. He
Pretty
played
good.
a hell of a game. Potentially got his bid on a national stage to say, "Hey, I'm a Heisman candidate."
He's
played
not,
a wonderful
but he's pretty good.
Yeah. 23 of 34, 341 yards passing, 2 tutties. Looked the part. Will Howard needs to know where he is down in distance and how much time is on the clock.
That's happened so many times. Why does this keep happening?
It hasn't happened that many times.
It happened twice in 2 weeks.
Yeah, but okay. I think it's the weight of the game, moment of the game. I'm not going to lie. that offensive pass interference on that final drive that put them out of field goal range, in my opinion, is a horrible call. If you go back and really watch this game, and then not only that, but watch that drive, it was physical all game. They were allowing them to push and allowing that the 4 quarters of the game until the final minute, in my opinion, and not saying that Ohio State aces the field goal, not saying that. But what I am saying, they kind of got fucked by the refs on that one.
A little bit,
Because
but you
that
got to be
put
winning
them-
by more. If you're
I
gonna do that.
understand the argument always. It's like Vince's argument for the fucking Chiefs. Somehow in all these close games, the Chiefs just pull them out of their ass.
You can't
because
blame
they get
everything
some
on the
silly nanny
referees.
fucking call. I'm not always blaming it on the referees, but that call was booty cheeks.
Oregon
And I
outpaced him
get
and
it.
he ran out of bounds is kind of where I ended up on that. You can't run out of bounds in that situation. And you also got to go for shorter yard plays to end up getting down the field
They claimed
properly.
offensive pass interference on the play. It was a reception. He legit threw a shoulder, got the guy off of him. You didn't see a push to prove separation. It was just a physical play. Turn, dot, ran out of bounds. Now, with the penalty call, there's a 10-second runoff.
Yep.
And then they took a 12-man on the field call, which was a stroke of brilliance.
Yep.
I get it. It feels as if, to me, though, when you see that call, that time, hometown call, second of all, I also would say that Will Howard needs to know his down and distance because it's fourth down and he's running to, what, with 3 seconds left?
Yeah, it felt a little Cristobal a little bit in my head. It's like, guys, you got
it. Or Tom Brady not remembering what down and distance was
against the Bears.
Yes.
That's one of those. And, like, obviously the environment was crazy. You got to know where you are. And I don't hate Ohio State. I hate Ryan Day. I'd like to make that clear. Ryan Day's a poopy.
I know everybody's going to disagree with me with this take. I still think Ohio State takes the Big Ten. So there you have it.
Maybe.
No.
I mean, there's not, like, the thing is the Big Ten's, there's a lot more parity than people anticipated. Michigan isn't very good. These are really the 2 teams in the Big Ten that you have to be most worried about.
This is going to be your Big Ten championship. There you have it.
Outside of Penn State.
Now let's transition to that lovely shit show of a football game.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll let you sound off. Yeah.
All right. I don't know what's going on in SoCal, but this game, you were up by 17 points at the half. And what do but come out in the second half and lay a fucking egg? And I don't understand what's going on with this team that they can't finish games. It's very Lincoln. I hate to say that. But
Stinkin'
2 fourth
Riley,
down.
some people are calling him.
No, I don't necessarily believe that the criticism is just simply due to the fact that it's a very young team.
I just thought Stinkin' Riley was funny, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it's the joke, and every OU fan listening to this podcast will probably state that, fuck Lincoln. He dipped out of OU and left them high and dry and blah, blah.
Yeah, life's way better now.
Okay. Defense played well. They got absolutely destroyed on a telegraph trick play in the second half that no business. Like, I knew watching it. I'm like, trick play, defend the end zone. They're taking a shot, and this number 44 that they have at tight end, Tyler Warren.
I love that he was wearing 44. He's such a dog. 17 receptions. Every ball was going to him, dude. He caught over half of Drew Aller's throws that game.
17 receptions, 224 yards, 1 touchdown. And this kid looks like a refrigerator running at you. I would not want to be in his way. And I understand it. It was a true mismatch. Woody Marks had a hell of a game. This defense couldn't get off the field on 3rd and 4th down. Drew Aller, you need to give him credit.
He's cool.
He's good. On 2 consecutive 4th down plays that if they don't get the 4th down or potentially get any points on the drive, it's game over.
Yeah.
He consecutively hit 2 fourth down plays, 4th and 3, and got a touchdown. It seemed like he defeated the USC defense on that drive. Played a hell of a game. Okay. Now we move in to the final 3 minutes of this game. USC gets the ball back. Tie ball game, 30-30. We start driving. Woody Marks, couple big runs, couple nice receptions. We're bleeding clock. Now we're down to a point where there's 45 seconds left in the football game. It's 2nd and 10. Okay. You'd think with 3 timeouts, what do you do as a head coach in this situation? Clock is running, 3 timeouts, 45 seconds. Maybe take a timeout.
Yeah.
Take your time. Get your guys to breathe a little bit. Let's
Make the
figure
right
out our
call.
play.
Yeah.
Let's make the right call. No. Lincoln Riley decides, I'm going to let this fucking clock bleed out because I'm 15 yards away from field goal range, and I'm going to roll the dice.
You do
And
that
what
when
happens?
you're in field goal. You do it when you're in field goal.
And
range.
what happens? The guy that Key and Peele portrays on the other side calls a timeout at 14 seconds. Let the clock wind down to 14 seconds. Now it's 3rd and 7. Miller Moss drops back, sails the football over his wide receiver's head. Interception. They take over, drive the ball down the field, field goal, and ball game.
Yep.
It was so sad, and Lincoln Riley deserves the criticism, but I do believe this team, if you look at them, has competed so well for a team that wasn't expected to be anything this season.
That was the point I was going to make. It's like Penn State is, what were they, 4 last week, and they're 3 now? Like, they're the 3rd best team in the nation. You guys were underdogs going in there. Like,
massive underdogs at home.
That's a 3-3 that it's way different than a lot of other 3-3s going on in the world right now. Like, that's a 3-3 competing against really good teams and just losing to them. Like, that's what that is. And also winning in good games. Like, I'm not going to say they're a world beater, but Penn State is 3rd in the nation. You lost by 3 points in overtime. It's not like something to frown about.
And I hate to say it, you had the game won, and you let it fall through the cracks.
Which is, you almost would rather not have that, no?
You want a close game always. It does prove.
But you don't want to have the game won and then lose it.
Of course not. But once again, this is a very young team.
Yeah.
New defensive coordinator building his side of the football. Everybody's going to call for Lincoln's head, but we also have to remember this is going now into year 3. And he now has to rebuild an offensive structure in his vision. So you have a freshman offensive line, basically.
Yep.
None of these guys have played together.
They got to figure it out, though.
It's not going to be this season. They may hop back into being in the rankings, but they're not going to be a playoff team. They'll get a bowl game.
Yep.
If you look at them, and I listen to Joel Klatt's podcast. If anybody ever gets a chance, listen to that guy. He is fantastic on Fox Sports. Love this guy's takes. He brought up a fantastic point, and it stuck with me. He said, if you look at USC right now, they are where Texas was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
A young offensive line, a new defense that's figuring it out, shows games that, hey, they're competing against Bama. Why can't they beat Bama? And then they would pick off some wins against really great teams, like an LSU. Smoke OU. Okay, cool. Once again, it's similar if you look at the structure of how each team is being built. I love that comparison. Am I biased? Slightly.
Yeah.
But it goes to show you here in the next 2 to 3 years what you could become if you build and recruit correctly and get the right transfers in there. Lincoln's always been a great offensive recruiter, can bring in great talent. And I do believe that potentially, if they don't fuck it up in Southern California and get impatient, we have a trajectory of growth. But We know it's high volume, high intensity, high visibility. Everybody wants a winner. But then everybody's like, well, Lane Kiffin this and Lane Kiffin that. What happened to Lane Kiffin
Yeah, I don't know
on
if you want to be
Saturday
Ole
night?
Miss right now. I don't know if you want to be Ole
What
Miss right now
happened to
either.
Lane Kiffin? 2 losses in a row
Yeah.
against teams you had all the business in the world beating.
Well, they played LSU, right? It's like LSU's a squad.
Who's better, Ole Miss or USC? We won't know because they're not going to play this year.
All right.
But who's better?
That's a toss up. Honestly, I
Because
don't know who I'd want to take. I would probably
beat
take
LSU.
I'd probably take Ole Miss, but
And then some way
USC beat
and got-
LSU first week on neutral ground.
LSU is
Ole
now
Miss
ranked
lost to
8th.
LSU at a night game in Death Valley. Those are 2 different fucking scenarios, Mike, and you know that.
Yes, correct. I'm just stating the obvious here.
Okay.
LSU is now
but
ranked 8th.
There's
Some way.
yeah. I was like, the obvious, there's a lot of but, yes, and situations to that. I know what you're saying though. There's growth there. Stinking Riley's a hilarious nickname, and I will be using it if
You leave
Notre
my
Dame
king
beats 'em.
alone. You leave my SoCal $100 million boy alone, okay?
But I don't think there's any shame in the loss. I think we can talk about LSU Ole Miss. LSU's a very confusing team to me. I don't have a lot of love for Brian Kelly. I'm very, very surprised they're 5-1, but Nussmeier, however you say his name, is playing a hell of a lot better. That last game wasn't great for him. They did win in a nail biter, but you can't throw for under 50% and throw 2 interceptions and get out.
Still threw 3 touchdowns, better than Jackson Dart.
I
That's not a
know.
performance for him.
Do you see Jackson Dart's after the game, his interview?
Yeah, we got to win out.
The first thing he said too is like, don't know how we lost that. It's like he scored less points. I know what he's saying, but like
Mathematics, young man.
that's another OT game where you're like, okay, Ole Miss, man. They're the USC of the South for sure. Lots of offense, not a lot of defense. And they're also a team where you're like, you expect more out of them, but you don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like every year, it's like Ole Miss could do something, but they never will, and no one's ever going to bet on them.
It's kind of the story of Lane Kiffin now, isn't it?
Yeah, unless he's at
His entire coaching tenure.
Unless he's at FAU.
Unless he's at FAU, hungover, saying, "Come watch Go Owls." I'm gonna go. Keep
Colorado K-State was a fun game. Colorado loses by 3. We talked about it. There's a path for them. There's no longer a path for the Colorado Buffaloes. They're a really good team, and Travis Hunter's probably still the Heisman winner.
Who's a really good team?
Kansas State.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, not Colorado. No, I'm saying they lost to a good team. Colorado's better than they thought they were going to be, but they lost to a good team. Like Kansas State's a good team.
Avery Johnson, kid's got great flow.
Yeah, he used to coach the Toronto Raptors. You know that?
No. He's a white kid from Kansas.
I will say that every time.
With awesome curly blonde hair. This kid's
every time, dude.
He looks to be the part of a kid who would probably play in Southern California, but he's at Kansas State. And he's a dog. This kid slinging the ball all over the field, 2 touchdowns, 224 yards, 15-23. Threw a pick. I'm just saying, you love to see it. Now, Shedeur Sanders,
he's
it's
good,
difficult
dude.
to hate on him.
He's good.
He throws a pretty football, and he's elusive.
He just annoys the piss out of me, but he's good, dude.
I don't like the attitude. Then again, if he was,
it's not even like
it's
not even like attitude. It's just like he believes that he deserves things that he doesn't, I think is the problem. Where he's like, oh, I've been here. Like, no one can talk shit to me. It's like, you haven't proven anything. I know you're very good, but like confidence and cockiness, there's a level to it. And if you haven't won anything, then there's no reason to be cocky. Like, you're being cocky, you're not being confident.
One
That's,
could
I think,
say
what
he's the
drives me nuts.
Jack Callis of college football.
Ah, no, he's not randomly assaulting people. I think that's the big difference.
Well, I understand that. I'm just saying the demeanor. It's one of these situations that Colorado, to your point, put up a fight, but
Yeah.
they got beat by a better football team.
Yeah, there's another better football team I wish would have gotten beaten this week, and that would have been Alabama against South Carolina. I thought Alabama was going to lose that game.
Man, South
Felt like it.
Carolina had a chance,
Yeah.
and I don't even know their quarterback's name, but he had the
Lenora
guy open in the
Sellers.
flat.
Yeah.
Lenora Sellers, you had the dude open in the flat. You just needed a
Yeah.
field goal, and you try being a fucking hero against one of the best
Yeah.
defensive backfields in the country, even though they've played like the worst 10 quarters of defensive football one could play.
They've been bad for 2 whole games. It's a bad defense for 2 whole games now.
Two and a half. We're
Yeah,
gonna count the end of the Georgia game.
True.
Then you lose against Vandy, and then you almost lose to Southern California.
Get him out of your
Carolina.
head. We're on a new game.
I know,
South Carolina.
PTSD,
Yeah.
sorry. It's still like, how do you let that happen?
Yeah, man. They had their time in the sun. They had their we're the best team in college football time in the sun for about 4 seconds. And then that got switched over real quickly. Jalen Milroe, everybody was like, he's the best quarterback in the nation. Don't know if he is anymore. That's a hard conversation. But this is shaping up for a non-quarterback Heisman watch. That's the one thing I will say is like,
That's good.
we're watching a lot of good quarterbacks have bad games and bad quarterbacks have good games and back and forth and back and forth. And then you got our Boise State man. We got Travis Hunter in Colorado. Like, we got these guys like actually going off and doing their thing. So maybe
You
it's good.
prefer to see that than the QB award.
Yeah. 100%.
Now, you want to talk about bad quarterbacks playing good?
Yeah.
Can we talk about unranked Florida Gators going into Tennessee
Close.
and taking a game into overtime, and Graham Mertz looking
Close.
like the Graham Mertz of
Yeah.
Wisconsin? I mean, come on.
Yeah. He's the Graham Mertz of Wisconsin, aka throwing the ball 15 times. They did not.
Yeah, right.
They took the ball out of his hands as much as they could. Tennessee's young, man. Nico's young. Interested to see how the rest of his career goes here. I thought he was going to come in with vengeance right off the bat and just be a dog. Not the case. Turns out football's a little bit harder than just walking in and just being a dog. So luckily he's a freshman right now and it'll be all right. But Tennessee, for all it's worth, they're 5-1 and they have a playoff opportunity. So all things being said, they very well could still go to the playoffs and do something this year. Florida sucks, though. I don't know how the fuck that happened.
It's the SEC, and they play really good football there.
Yeah.
Now, another thing I would like to discuss is, okay, we look at the Heisman watch.
Yeah.
Ashton Genty, still 217 yards. And I can't believe we're talking about this like saying still.
It's bad. Right. It's like it's a bad stat line. I know.
Did he get comfy?
No, dude, Mike, he ran for over 2 football fields in the game. He's still a god.
This is true.
But the thing, he's going to get the Boise State knock. It's going to be like, well, he played at Boise State and he didn't play a lot against a lot of good teams. So you have to go Super Saiyan nuclear mode to win. I still think he's leading it. Like we went over the stats last week. Like, he's outpacing every running back Heisman for years and years and years, like Reggie Bush, Derrick Henry, like Mark Ingram, all of them. He outpacing them all right now. He does play at Boise State. So that's going to be the conversation until the voting comes in. That's what people are going to be talking about the whole time.
Blue field.
So cool.
Great unis.
Yep.
To your point, it's Boise State. Either way, they smoked Hawaii. Now, one team I would like to talk about is the fact that Purdue, being absolute poopy this year, somehow went into U of I and goes into an overtime, which is the most un-Big Ten game I've ever seen. 49-50, just barely loses.
How did they score that much? Some would say that makes Notre Dame's Purdue win look even better. I wouldn't say that because
Here we go.
I'm
make it about your team.
Listen, you got like a 4-minute soliloquy by yourself. I just wanted to make one point. I'm going to move on now. We're 11th in the nation. We have a playoff spot, whatever. It's fine. It's cool. Luke Altmaier, listen, I like Notre Dame, or not Notre Dame, excuse me. Sorry, it's still mad. I like Illinois. There's clearly some issues that they're having as a team right now. Still 5-1, yeah. You can't beat Purdue by one, especially in a 1-5 rate right now. I don't know. What happens if Illinois just stumbles into winning the rest of the year and they have one loss? Like they're clearly not like one of the best teams in the nation, but shit, it's working out, man.
Well, they got Michigan this week, so that'll be a nice little
But does
test at
Michigan look
home.
good? I think Illinois might be higher ranked than
To-
Michigan right now.
No, just take the under of that game. That's the only thing I'll say.
Dude,
'Cause that's
Michigan
just going
is
to be like
booty.
run.
Booty
Yeah,
cheese,
they
Michigan.
can't do anything but run the football on
Yeah.
offense. And that's just going to saying like, hey, after the Connor Stallions thing and how that all played out.
Hey, send me to the
They get
gutter
their
for
natty.
10 years after you win a fucking national championship. Bring me one, send me to the
Now-
gutter for 10 years. I don't give a fuck.
Now, Vince, I think you guys have a very interesting game coming up this week,
Yeah.
and you better
Wait, can
not
we talk
sleep on
about
them.
can we talk about the goddamn Army and Navy right now? Because we talked about
Sure,
it last
Vince. Let's
week,
talk
and you're
about
like,
the goddamn Army and Navy.
you're like, whatever, the service academies, blah, blah, blah. Army and Navy are doing shit they haven't done almost ever. They're both undefeated currently. Again, they're going to play Notre Dame, so they're both going to have a loss, but it is what it is. They're not playing the craziest teams in the world. When's the last time you saw either service academy be proficient at football?
They just run gadgety systems, and usually they sneak past a good team every now and again.
Yeah.
But if you do look at their existing record, they haven't really played anybody.
They don't,
You know.
because they're the service academies. But still, that's the thing. They usually do that, and they still end up like 2-3 losses at the end of the year. They're completely undefeated right now, both of them.
Here's the question, Vince. Do you think that Army and Notre Dame will be together watching that game on November 23rd?
I am not 100% confident it's going to be easy.
I don't think it's going to be easy at all
think it's
because
gonna be
NIU beat
difficult.
your team. Right.
Yeah, like
And then
one
you got
loss.
Navy.
That's the thing.
Just-
I'm not used to losing this year because I only lost once, and maybe it'll be good that I'm with you so you can teach me how to lose. Because as much as you say you don't play ranked teams, looking at the schedule right now, we have 2 more ranked teams to play.
You
So,
think looking at the schedule making and the odds of these teams being ranked where they are at this stage of the game,
It's not
any of
about-
that was
it's not
feasible
about
in their thought
assumption,
process
it's
to making
about-
their calendar?
it's not about assumption. It's about who you're going to play for the rest of the year. And right now, I see us playing the
man.
25th and the 23rd team in the nation 2 times, and then just sprinkling in a couple unranked with the USCs and the Florida States and the Virginias of the world. But
You are
those 2 are fun.
truly putting lipstick on your lovely pig.
I'm just saying.
Known as Our
Hey,
Lady.
I gave you your time. I never talk shit about USC. I think they'll be good in a couple of years, but I'm focused on my boys now. We're going for a playoff run, so we'll see what happens.
Well, chances are they will do what they always do. They make it to the playoffs, and then they get into that first round, and then get smoked, and then everybody's like, "See, told you so,"
It's
and
the-
then there you go.
Chances are this is a different college football landscape now, dude. We got Marcus Freeman. We don't have
Team
family.
you got to be really careful about, Vince, and they don't get enough
GT?
roses. No, BYU. In case you haven't paid attention, people, BYU is undefeated.
They're very good,
And
yeah.
they may just fuck around and win the Big 12. So
They
you love
could.
to see that. And let's talk about this game, though. Let's stay on your Notre Dame topic.
Yeah, what about him?
Georgia Tech
Yep.
has disappointed some teams this year.
Calvin Johnson playing?
No, he's not. But they are low-key,
They
as
are
the kids would
good.
say these days,
Yeah.
a squad.
Yeah, 5-2.
And you guys better be careful walking into Georgia.
This is not a
thinking-
given. This is not
No.
a given. No.
Your thoughts on this game?
I mean, shit, they were going toe to toe, like with essentially everybody they played this year. I mean, granted, you can say all the things, and you could say they didn't really upset anybody. They played Florida State, who's ass this year. Louisville beat them by 12. We beat Louisville. So they're good. I don't think it's a shoe-in game. I think you're going to have to play it a lot harder than you played Stanford. Stanford looked fucking brutal. Um, I think there's something to be said about Notre Dame losing to NIU and being like, what the fuck? And readjusting their plan. Like Riley Leonard's on a tear to break every quarterback rushing record that Notre Dame's ever had. He's just on the ground, moving the legs, don't air it out, just find a way to just gadget run options. That's all they're doing all the time. And I'm cool with it if it's working, you know?
Fair. You got to stick with what works.
Yeah, you can't
I'm
throw the ball.
saying to your point, this game's not a given. And I'm feeling as if teams may be trying to figure out, okay, if we take away the run to make this kid pass, then what?
But you put a spy
Still,
on him, he can throw the ball. Like, it's not like he can't. You just can't give him 40 attempts in a game. You got to give him 20 to 25. That's the max he can do. And if you can play them both ways and you leave a couple guys open to try to stop the run, then now you're opening your defense up. So, like, depends on how they want to play it. And I think they can do it.
we have a potential national title matchup on our hands at Georgia and
Georgia
Texas.
Tech's not going to the national title. What do you mean?
No, Georgia, Texas.
I know. It's like
So,
Notre Dame.
Georgia playing
yeah.
Texas in Texas. This game's going to be electric. What are your thoughts?
Georgia. They seem wide open to be upset every time they play a game. This isn't going to be an upset, obviously. I think Texas wins this, not convincingly, but pretty well. That being said, Georgia loses to Alabama. Georgia's got some fire under their ass now. Alabama versus Georgia is always an issue. This is a classic letdown spot for Texas. Part of me wants to sprinkle in a little bit, maybe go spread on Georgia just because, like, the opportunity is there. I'm not saying that Georgia's going to win it, but I don't think it's going to be like a 10, 15-point win. I think it's going to be like under a touchdown, maybe 4 or 5 points.
So you're saying it's going to go down to the final minute?
Possibly. Georgia's pretty good at that this year.
Okay. I like your thought process.
Yeah.
And if you had
Take the
to
spread.
pick them right now, you taking underdog Georgia?
No, Texas is going to win, but I think it's going to be well within the spread. I'd take the under if I'm doing anything. Or the over, rather. They're both going to they're going to score.
You think it's going to be score?
All day. Yeah. I think Georgia's
Okay.
going to come out with, because, I mean, if you think about the Alabama-Georgia game, like, that second half for Georgia, all they were doing was scoring. They were just so far back in points for so long. Like, at some point, you got to readjust.
Okay. Now let's jump to the other side of the SEC. We have Tennessee and Bama. This game is kind of the rematch of the upset Saban era loss.
Yeah.
With your boy Hendon Hooker.
I love him.
And an amazing Josh Hyatt.
You see he got in the game. You see it was a Cooper Rush Hendon Hooker competition at the end of that Lions-Cowboys game. It was pretty sweet. It was pretty fun.
Well, they should have put in whoever Aiden Hutchinson's backup was, because we'll talk about that. That's horrific.
God damn it. That sucks. No, I think Tennessee's going to get cooked. I think Alabama's pissed. Alabama needs to fucking rock somebody. And I think Nico's not going to be able to throw the ball the way he wants to. But that being said, all things even, Nico comes out and starts playing really well against Alabama. Like the nation's whole thought on the guy might change a little bit. Because right now it's like he's young, he's talented, he's not going to be able to throw well. Comes out against Alabama, a supposedly good defense who hasn't been good in a while. If they continue that trajectory, then it could be a different ballgame. But I don't think Alabama's going to let a freshman quarterback come out and start fucking with them like that.
Early line on this game that we were just talking about, Georgia, Texas at Texas.
Yeah, what is it?
Currently the over-under at 56.5.
For points. What's the spread?
4.5.
That's what I was saying. I said 4 or 5 points. I don't know which one I would take.
So, do you go over that, right? Do you go the plus 4.5 or the minus?
I gotta take minus if I'm. There's so many points available though. That's really tough. I mean, that's right where I would put it. It sounds like Vegas and me have the same mindset right now.
Yeah, the Sharps know what they're doing.
There's so
Now, are
many
they
1
that
point,
sharp?
2-point games. You gotta take under on that. You gotta take the minus.
It's true. It's
Do you
going to be fun to
agree?
watch.
Do you agree? What would you take? You can't
I
put me
I
on the
would
wire.
agree. I would agree with the -4.5 and the over on the 56.5.
Yeah.
One would assume that each team is going to score 25 plus points.
I'm
You
thinking
look at
like a
Bama.
35-38 situation.
You
This
look
game.
at this similar trajectory as Bama and Georgia. You look at that game is kind of like your compass as to how you bet this one,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Take it for what it's
Yeah.
worth.
Texas is a fucking lot better though.
Now, if we look at the Big Ten,
Yeah.
right now, Indiana still top ranked in the Big Ten. I don't care what you tell me.
Dude, they are. Well, Oregon.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well,
But still.
it's gonna be interesting to see how that one plays out. And then this weekend coming up, we do have USC Maryland, which hopefully they can go into Maryland.
You have to win that game. You have to win
You
that
have
game.
to. You have to decisively win this game because the rest of
Yeah.
your schedule, the only thing you really have are your rivalry games of UCLA, Notre Dame, and then you have a Nebraska team.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you put on your Notre Dame hat. That's so cute.
Yeah, for the audio listeners, just gotta let you know. I hope that's a
That's
good
good.
game. We'll have fun.
Yeah,
Have fun with that.
let's get into roads less traveled this time of year, Vince.
Baseball?
Let's talk about baseball. First and foremost.
No, this is the road
let's
most
ad-
traveled. This is the most exciting thing to watch right now, Mike.
It is true. It is electric.
I love playoff baseball. This is great.
If we do look at the series right now, New York looks to be their Cinderella year. This looks to be it.
I can't
for
believe
them.
it.
I can.
I'm baffled. How can you? They have
Why are
not
you
been able to
baffled?
do it. Aaron Judge has been a horrible, horrible playoff hitter. His whole career, he's been amazing in the regular season. He comes to the playoffs and he hits like 200. Granted, he's not playing amazing right now. He's playing good enough, but Giancarlo Stanton's on a fucking tear. Like Juan Soto pop-up home run out of Yankee Stadium like we always see. I'm not rooting for the Guardians. I want to see the Yankees go to the World Series, but like
They're going to.
Subway
Series is at 2-0,
Mike?
right?
Are we talking Subway Series again? Are we going to run back 2000 right now?
See, I still believe that the pitching is so much depth. I have a funny feeling that if it gets to a certain point with the Dodgers and the Mets series, I think we may see a Shohei sighting on the bump.
It's possible. You know he's throwing full speed right now. It's just, do they want to do? Because the thing is if he goes out there and he gets injured, he can't hit either. They lose him completely.
Yeah.
So where's the risk aversion there?
Do you want to win a World Series or do you not? There's your risk
Right,
aversion.
but
Boom.
If that's the thing, if you throw him out on the mound and then you lose him for the rest of the series, because that's possible.
I would love to see a Subway Series selfishly. Right now, the series is 1-1 between the Mets and the Dodgers. Mets
Dodgers
bats
just
woke
scored.
up game 2.
Dodgers just
What's
scored
the
again,
score of the
2-0.
Dodgers game currently?
It's 2-0. They just scored like not even 2 seconds ago.
What inning?
Second. It just started.
Okay, so we got a lot of baseball left to play.
I like
Mookie
the
Betts.
Mets. The Mets are my team for the rest of this world or the rest of this playoffs. I don't want to see the Guardians win because fuck the Guardians. They're in division. I don't want to see the Yankees win because fuck the Yankees. I don't want to see the Dodgers win because fuck the Dodgers. Like there's two teams that I don't like because they spend too much money and they're annoying and their fans are annoying. And then there's one team that's in division. The last one is the Mets, and I like the Mets because they're little brother New York. Fuck them up. People in New York, like Yankees fans are the playoffs start in the fucking World Series. Everything else is just not acceptable. And Mets fans are like, this is great. Like, how the fuck are we here right now?
Well,
and I love
when
that.
you look at the fandom of Yankees fans, that's historically what they do.
Yeah. Which they can, kind of, but not in the last fucking, 17 years or whatever it's been since they won one.
This is true. Ugh. Okay. Prediction, both series. Let's go. Right now, Yankees up 2-0. They go back to Cleveland, right?
I'll give Yankees in 5.
You're taking Yankees in 5. What are you
Mhm.
taking the Dodgers series at?
Because you don't want to go to LA and play 7. I'll take the Mets in 6.
Give me the Mets in 7. Because I feel like this
You think they
series may
go
go
to
the
Los
distance.
Angeles and win there?
I feel like it's going to go down the wire. They're going to be the
Let's
team that
go.
doesn't go away.
I like that, but also there's part of me that's like they got playoff magic right now, right? Every year there's a team like that. Last
I
year it
would
was
love
2
to.
teams.
I'm rolling with the Mets the rest of the way. I agree with that.
I love them.
I would love to see the Mets pull out a World Series with the team that last year exceeded expectations in the season. This year, everybody ruled them out, and now they're back. And
I
it's
mean, Ken
interesting. Right?
Rosenthal is going to bukkake himself when he can be like, the New York Mets, they trade all their players away, and they come in and they beat the Dodgers in the playoffs, and then they go to the World Series, and they finally take down the big, bad crosstown foes, the Yankees. Like, that is romantic baseball writing. Ken Rosenthal is going to be gooning for 12 hours talking about that shit. It's going to be great for him.
Don't say baseball isn't romantic, right?
Yeah. Dude, okay, can we talk about Bob Costas real quick?
What about him?
So he's calling games, right?
Yeah.
Nah, I like him. He's a legend.
He's Bob Costas.
Not good. Hasn't been good.
Why? What's your problem with Bob Costas?
It's literally like someone will hit the ball and he's like, that's colder than an iced tea on a summer day. And then it's like you missed the whole fucking play. Or when he was like, line drive through the middle, that's gonna be a hit. And it was just an easy shortstop grab. It was an out. He's like, oh, never mind. And then he's like, yep, there he goes again. Like he's not fast enough to call games anymore, unfortunately.
Well, Bob's not that old, but I think he's
Yes,
just
he
getting
is.
back
He's
into baseball.
73.
Is he really 73?
Yeah, he's an older man. Yeah. He's not young.
Think about it. Al Michaels is still announcing football, and that motherfucker's on strings.
All 72, 73 are not the same. Like it's not even that. It's like Bob Costas is at this point become more of a documentary host kind of guy in my head. Because listen to him. He's also a massive Yankees fan. So he said it too, verbatim, that he's like, I don't want to be biased. So he's like not commenting on the Yankees at all. It's like weird. You can just tell it's weird. Like the booth is weird. And also they also don't have him calling any of this stuff anymore too. They kind of knocked him. They were like, all right, we're good.
Well,
So
I do believe
he's not
that
calling the CS.
He pulled his name and he wanted to be a part of some of this run.
Yeah.
Just to say he did it. And then now he's gracefully bowing out and going back to being a fan.
Which is
fine. It's kind of
smart. What a legend. But
he got paid to do something he loves to do and for the team he loves. I mean,
again, I'm not going to
knock the guy.
I'm not going to knock him. I'm not going to take anything away from him, but also, maybe get him out of here. Maybe we don't need him right now.
That's true. Now, what I would love to see is the electricity of like John Madden announcing baseball. That would be fantastic.
Now?
Yeah. Well, no, he's dead now. But that would be
probably pretty quiet.
Quite a quiet broadcast. No, like when Madden was in his prime, boom, he's going to go here. And then he hit the ball in the gap. And, you'd love to see that.
That would be fun if he called baseball.
He's just going to pull this thing out randomly for the rest of the
I told you I was going to put it back on, dude. Playoff baseball, bitch. I love that shit. I'm obsessed with it. I love it, dude. Let's talk about possibly good news and also possibly bad news. It's a double-edged sword here. Jerry Reinsdorf reportedly in discussions for selling the Chicago White Sox, and for that I say good. We've been waiting for that.
Sweet.
And for that I say also there's a lot of opportunity for them to move to Nashville, which is also a talk with a lot of people, possible owners, possible people that could buy, have ties to Nashville. Jerry Reinsdorf has talked about that before in the past. Mind you, the Chicago White Sox are over 120, 25 years old, so it'd be crazy. But we have to talk about it. I mean, this is our team. We have to talk about it. We've been asking for it for years now. Let's be for real.
It's like, what do they say? The devil you know is better than the devil you don't. Or something.
Yeah, but is it? He's pretty fucking bad, and I hate him a lot. So
he's fucking horrible.
Like part of me feels
I don't
like
know.
Commanders fan when Snyder got
Yeah.
rid of the team, and you're like, yes, but like, it's
Well,
a
that
can
was
of worms.
really good, though.
It's
That
a
was
can of
really good,
worms.
though. But that was really good because look at where their trajectory has gone.
Exactly.
The fear for us is that your team gets moved to Nashville.
And if that happens,
But
I don't have a team.
right, and nor do I. If that does happen, though, let's say they get sold, the MLB has something to say about a team remaining
Yeah.
in a city. And not only that, but so does the city of Chicago, which, as we
Kind
could
of.
see, well,
Not about the
as
team
we could
moving, though.
see, let's figure this out, though. Time out.
Okay.
Hold the phone. Let's think of the uproar, the fact that the Chicago Bears could hypothetically play in Arlington Heights. Everybody lost their fucking minds about this, right?
Yeah.
You included. I could care less. Play in Arlington Heights. It'd be so much easier.
Well,
And
no,
nicer.
I'm like,
But-
it makes sense. The city may not have enough room, but like, I wasn't entirely against it. I would just prefer it to be in the city, but I know what you're talking about.
So
Regardless.
imagine now new ownership comes in. They build in the South Loop. They buy that land. And now we have new ownership who cares. And maybe there is ties to Nashville, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. And you let the good people in the building stay and do their jobs, and you let the really bad who are inherently
So clear house, 'cause
viciously
there's nobody
loyal.
good. There's nobody good.
I believe there's good people anywhere you go, just like any great organization or bad organization, there's good and there's bad.
Yeah.
It's going to be a thing. Some are better than others. Now, if you do look at this situation, okay, you just kind of go, we want this, so we got to roll with it. And maybe, just maybe, Jerry cashes his chips out. Now, maybe he sells his majority stake because it is an ownership group and other
Yeah,
people
but
who are
sorta.
the organization.
Because he has majority ownership, so it's like whoever he sells it to is getting majority. Okay,
Sure.
so the reason for concern is conversations about Dave Stewart, former pitcher in the MLB, MLB executive, is maybe going to be the one to buy it. That's what the conversation is. He was a part of the ownership that tried to buy the Marlins in 2017. He tried to buy half of the Oakland Coliseum. He was a pitcher in Oakland for the Athletics, who we know now are moving. He's been trying to get a bid in Nashville for years. And he's left a group that was trying to do that earlier this year. This isn't saying that he's going to move it to Nashville. This is saying that he was with a team trying to buy a franchise to be in Nashville. So there's ties, but there's not crazy ties to it. It's just not a zero-sum game, you know? Like, there's a possibility of it happening. But I think, honestly, like, Reinsdorf isn't going to do anything to help him anyway. So, yeah, sell him and let's see where the cards fall. Like, that's kind of where my head's at.
Let's think of this in a business mindset. Where is this team the most valuable?
Maybe Nashville.
No.
You sure?
No way. No.
We have a lot
This
of fans,
team-
but, you know.
You run the risk. The team is the most valuable in Chicago. And if you build it right, and if you create a winner in Chicago, you will have the entire city on your back.
100%. That's how it goes.
So the value of that alone is worth keeping the team in Chicago more so than moving them to Nashville, which is just become a bridesmaid haven.
Yeah.
You're not there to watch baseball. You're not there to watch any real sport other than
They
college
like their
football.
sports,
Let's
and
face it.
no, they got hockey, they got football.
And,
They
yeah,
sell those
but
out.
okay.
The Preds are a very
Hockey's-
popular franchise.
Okay, they've never won a series. They've never
They
won
almost
a
won the Stanley Cup. They almost did.
Yeah, a decade plus ago.
Yeah,
They
but I
haven't
mean,
been relevant in years.
That's like saying Cleveland doesn't like baseball because they haven't won since 1940, whatever. Like, that's not.
Cleveland has had a storied franchise in that city for 100 years plus.
Where does it start, though?
The
Mike?
White, if you're a businessman and you're smart, The White Sox value is the greatest in Chicago, and you don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. I'm assuming a part of the purchase would be buying that land in the South Loop that Jerry's already had his eyes on, and
Yeah,
you
I think you
rebuild
bought it,
there.
if I'm not mistaken.
Right. So you rebuild there and you start fresh in a new ballpark and everything is gorgeous. And you come in and you suck for another couple years. And then when you move, it's beautiful. And you go on your run and all is forgotten. And we have new ownership that gives a fuck.
I'm going
That's the hope.
to decide to side with your optimistic outlook. And I think you're probably right. I think there's a better chance of that happening than the inverse.
Well,
But it does scare me.
think
And
about
also,
private equity
fuck
firms.
Reinsdorf. Fuck that guy.
Think about
Fuck him so much.
private equity firms, right?
Okay.
If I'm a private equity firm, I'm buying a business because I'm trying to get the most out of it
Right.
in order to flip it and sell it in 4 to 5 years.
Well, and also the price to run a business too is a lot higher in Chicago than Nashville.
Sure. Yeah, but there's already an ingrained name and brand,
Yeah.
which is the Chicago White Sox. There's legitimate branding there. You have to restart all of that in a new city that isn't a proven baseball market. I don't think it doesn't track for me. While the pendulum swings, it swings far closer to Chicago than it does anywhere else.
I'm
You think
inclined
of
to agree with you.
You think of major markets. You think of LA, you think of New York, you think of Chicago.
Houston.
Okay. Not like that. Not like that.
It's bigger.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily. Texas is the biggest fucking state in the union next
That's
to
true.
California. What are you talking about?
I think
what
Texas
I'm getting
is bigger
at
than
is
California, isn't it?
okay. But to
Yeah.
the point, when you look at this, you go, all right, I can keep the 2 Chicago teams, the 2 New York teams, and however many LA teams there are now. It's insane.
Dose,
So,
right? There's still only 2.
You have the Padres, you have the Dodgers.
San Diego, different.
Well,
Barely,
it's all in
but
California.
Different. You're right.
Okay. Now you get Sacramento in there somewhere.
Yeah,
I
sell
do
the fucking
believe
team, Jerry. You're a piece of shit, and I hate you. That's kind of
sell
where
the
I'm
fucking.
at.
This is all we've been asking for. So now our
Fuck
dream is
you.
potentially coming through.
Come on the podcast. Maybe we can be friends. Just kidding. I'm just gonna hate you the whole time. I hate you. Get out of here. I hate you. Sell the team. I hate you. Fuck you. Thank you.
Well, it's all like these old oligarchs of baseball are failing to go away lightly. But now he's.
Well, I
to the
saw
point
that
where
today where it was
I
like
just won the deal in basketball.
he doesn't want to adjust to, and that's the thing too. He likes baseball more than basketball. So get rid of the Bulls too, please. Because the Bulls ain't moving. You're not moving the Chicago Bulls. No way in fucking hell you can do that.
It's similar branding though.
Barely, dude. Let's be for real.
No.
Come on. You cannot compare the Bulls to the White Sox. You can't do it.
One won World Series 20 years ago.
One.
The other hasn't won a chance.
They won 6
the last
in the
time the Bulls-
90s. They won 6 in the 90s. They're maybe the biggest outside of like Los Angeles. They're maybe the biggest like sellable merchandise based team in the in the NBA. Like the draw to the Bulls is a lot higher than the White Sox. You cannot make an argument outside of that.
When's the last time the Bulls have won a championship?
That's not the argument. That is not how that works. Merchandise sales
okay.
and brand recognition is not how that works. The Bulls are.
I mean, the Bulls and the White Sox
brand.
are very close in
No.
branding. And Michael
Disagree.
Jordan made them global, understood. But you think of the lore of the White Sox branding and all of it, it's across the country.
Yeah, but like the hats are. The Bulls, like as a
Okay.
lifestyle, like an MJ jersey goes crazy. Like you can't, like, if you were to move the Bulls to a different market, and I like to think the same about the Sox, but the Bulls sold out United Center for like 24 years in a row. Like something
Yeah.
insane. It's a whole different
one of the
ballgame.
worst basketball teams in the country.
Well, that's
Gotta
what I'm
love
saying.
it.
If they're selling out for Kirk Heinrich and Eddie Curry, and I love Kirk Heinrich, like they can sell out for anybody.
Well, it's
Jabari
the
Parker
lore
comes
of the
in.
name, to your point. I
Yeah.
do believe, though, back to the discussion, the White Sox, from a business standpoint, are far more valuable in Chicago than they are anywhere
I'm inclined
else.
to agree. I'm inclined to agree with you, but
Follow the money, you'll follow all of it. Same goes for politics. There you have it. Let's talk about some fucking football.
Football. We don't have an air it out this week. So send it to us. Give us an air it out so we can listen to your opinions. Wake up, air it out.
Wake up, people.
You know
air
when
it out.
You know when you
What's
fart
wrong
under
with
the
you?
covers? You know when
You
that
gotta
happens?
air it out.
You gotta air it out. You know when you go
You got something brewing inside
under the covers? You know when you
got
go
some stuff going on in
under
there.
the covers,
You gotta
air it out.
You gotta get it out. You gotta get a whiff. We need a whiff.
Yeah, I would like to let you guys know that I will get over that at some point, but I'm not even close right now. So you just got to deal with that. All right. Last week, Mike almost went perfect. Mike went 13
Look
and
at
1.
me.
That was
Look
crazy.
at me, man.
We got to the point where he was perfect until the Bills and the Jets, and we both took the Jets last week. Absolute mush town America. You take that parlay, you get all your wins, and you get all the way to Monday night, and it just shits on your face, unfortunately. I go 11-3 and can't be even proud about that because now you're up 4 or 5 games on me now. So I got some work to do. But alas, let's talk about last week's games, starting off with the 49ers and the Seahawks. My biggest takeaway from this game, Mike, Brock Purdy's pretty good at quarterback, man.
Yeah, they need to stop with the criticism of is he really that great?
He's not a system quarterback. He's a good quarterback.
He's a good fucking quarterback. And if you're gonna hate on this kid, I'm sorry, I don't agree.
You're running out of things to do. And like the 49ers are back on the train. They're gonna start playing better. But that specific throw to George Kittle in the corner of the end zone, one guy against him, absolute dot, perfect throw right in the corner. What else do you want out of the guy? You can't get it. Yeah, the 49ers are fucking good. And the Seahawks are worse than them. Seahawks aren't bad. Kenneth Walker runs a train through everybody, for lack of a better term and usage. But yeah, the 49ers are still really good. There's no way around it.
Did we see DK Metcalf rip off his offensive or wide receiver coach's headset to talk to OC and just absolutely destroy him?
No, I didn't, but he did not have a good game.
I encourage everybody to go watch that footage. DK was hot, and I wouldn't want to piss that guy off.
Yeah, he's terrifying and huge. Yeah, he did not have a good game, so I don't blame him. But 49ers defense with Nick Bosa, a lot better than 49ers defense without Nick Bosa. That's a fucking fact.
No kidding. And, hey, Kyle Juszczyk got a touchdown, and George Kittle got in the end zone twice.
Yeah.
So, needless
Was it that week when they were hugging their wives?
That was the week they were hugging their wives.
That long ago where I don't even remember what week it was? They went up and they hugged their wives. What day is it? Love is beautiful.
Who are those beautiful women that they're hugging?
Okay. Why'd you go into your Reinsdorf voice?
I don't know. Sell the team. Where are they located? Nashville? I don't know.
How's the weather out in Nashville?
Sometimes you have to do what you have to do.
49ers now 3-3 on the up and up. They're no longer bad. Shall we go to London town, my friend?
Oh, I'd love to go to London town, mate.
Cheeky little Peaky Blinder, why don't you?
Hey, you gonna get some fucking football, aren't you?
I've never been that horny in the beginning of the day. I like to say that.
Oh, Vince, I got out of bed at 7 o'clock.
Yeah. And the game's already started for you. It was early for you.
Game started at 6:30 for me. I was out of bed at 7 on the couch, just licking my wounds from the night before. Wife and I went to a wine tasting. It was a lot of fun. And then I wake up. I'm like, oh, man, I set an alarm for this, which I did. And I was on the couch. And the one takeaway of this game, Vince, we got a fucking quarterback.
Got him, baby. It felt so good. All things being said, just to protect us, this is the Jaguars, and they're not very good. But you want to know what you do to teams that are not very good? You shit on their faces, and goddamn it, he did it. 23 for 29, 226, and 4 touchdowns. Really bad. Speaking of air it out, he tried airing it out to DJ Moore. DJ Moore pretty open on the play. Horrible throw. Way too much air under it. Pretty brutal.
He admitted it was a horrible throw.
And he said he came back out the next play, and he's like, we're going to score because fuck that. And what you do after you throw an interception like that is you go 3 touchdowns unanswered right down the fucking field right in their face. That's what you do if you're a good quarterback, and he did that.
4 touchdowns. This kid looks to be it. Cole Kmet have a game, 5 receptions, 70 yards, 2 touchdowns.
And 6 long snaps.
Best long snapper in the NFL, maybe?
Okay, so they do the special teams winner of the year or the week or whatever. Cole Kmet got special teams player of the week, and I feel so bad for all those special teams players because, like,
That's such a kick in the dick.
it is so mean. It's like some guy's just been playing like punt recovery for years, and he's never gotten one. And then the fucking tight end for the Bears comes in and snaps ball a couple times, and they're like, get him in there. Granted, he was very good. First guy to ever catch a ball and then immediately have to go snap it for the extra point.
Really?
I'm asking. I don't know, but you got to assume, right?
I think maybe one of two in NFL history's got to be.
Maybe in like 1942 or whatever.
It's it's just I think Tom Thayer, who is the radio broadcast for the Chicago Bears on ESPN 1000 on Sunday games, his reactions to this game, like he must have been tearing one off in the booth of the quarterback play of Caleb Williams. You heard some of his reactions. You'd be like, and Joni acts like, oh, and he's got Allen in the end zone, and you'd hear Tom Thayer go, oh man, that was an awesome throw. Or you hear it, oh baby. Like he is over the moon, which we all were, but just laying on the couch, slightly hungover on a Sunday, watching my football team not being upset and watching quarterback play that is borderline great.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there like, huh, we got a quarterback. And I text Vince, I'm like, this is fucking real. He's real. And it's finally nice to see a guy come into a system, progressively get better week after week. Keenan Allen, told you last week it was going to be a Keenan Allen game.
Rip that Band-Aid off, Keenan.
Rip the Band-Aid off. He looked fantastic. And some of these throws are only throws that I believe Justin Fields could do.
He couldn't make them. Mitch can't make them.
Mitch could have never have made these throws. I'm sorry. It wouldn't even be in their vocabulary.
Yeah.
To think about even throwing that ball.
Yeah, I'm looking
back.
That
mindset doesn't happen.
Looking back at our conversation, just Vince, Caleb Williams is good. Dude, I know. It's a dangerous time to believe. It's literally how I feel. Because it's like
we're so skeptical.
You don't want to. This all comes with the caveat that he's a rookie quarterback and some things may be bad again and some things may be good again. Like those things will happen throughout the season because it's the NFL. But just having a guy that can make that Keenan Allen throw or that DJ Moore throw in the end zone where you're like, the only person that could have caught that ball was DJ Moore and nobody else. That was 2 weeks ago, excuse me, just so people know. But like Cole Kmet throw when they did like the fake that the Packers and the Rams did in the past. Like these are things that you need to do where the play is drawn up, you run the play, you do it to perfection. Where we don't see that in the past, you check down 50,000 times, and then the game ends and you only scored one time. There's a difference in that shit. And I think the Jaguars wish they had a guy that could do that a little bit more, which is kind of funny.
If you really watch the tape of Trevor Lawrence this past week, there were 4 touchdown passes that were dropped in the end zone.
Yeah, no, they're not doing him any favors.
He's not a terrible quarterback.
He's not good anymore, though.
This is Doug Peterson 2.0. Whatever happens
he won a fucking Super Bowl.
First year, yeah, just got lightning in a bottle, and then ever since it's just been poo.
Jesus,
and you don't understand why, but it just doesn't work.
Farts, Etienne ass, like
he must not be healthy.
It's something
because a guy just doesn't go from not being good to somehow not playing at all.
And they got to stay there for another week, and because of the hurricane, they had to travel late, and some people are blaming that. Whatever. They're 1-5.
Well, you don't lose this bad regardless of preparation and all of it. So, Bears 4-2. This division,
third in the division. Is what I was going to say.
First time in history that this division is like 3-4 win teams and 1 undefeated. We are the best division in football. It's impressive.
All top 4 in point differential.
And then I was going to lean on first time, I think, in Chicago Bears history or since 1958 that the Bears score 2 games in a row of 35 offensive points.
Yep. Point differential in the NFL right now goes Vikings, Lions, Bears, Packers, rest of the league. That's fucking insane. This is like the best division I've ever seen, and obviously it's going to happen when the Bears playing well. So lots of
Now
division time to eat alive. That's all we're going to see for the rest of the fucking year.
the question is if you do keep winning the way you are, because now in you get a bye week.
Yep.
And then coming out of that bye week, you get the commies, right? We're playing the Commanders week out of the bye week. Okay. So rookie quarterback matchup of the century here.
Very fun.
Okay, a lot of fun. Now, when you look at that game, I mean, if you win, bragging rights galore.
Yeah.
And
again, not rooting for Jaden Daniels to be bad, just rooting for Caleb Williams to be
rooting
good.
for Caleb to be better.
Yeah.
Now you start to get better. And you start to get closer and closer to the trade deadline, which we're about 2 weeks away.
It's almost here, yeah.
Week 8. Do you think about making a move to go get a pass rusher?
No.
You don't move that second-round pick for De'Aaron Payne? You don't move that second-round pick?
Yeah, move that second-round pick for Chase Claypool. Why don't you? I don't think so. I think we're year 1 on this experiment. We have Keenan. Keenan's off the books. You look at it. You look at a free agent in the offseason. That's what you do. You don't overreact to this. You keep the window as open as you can for as long as you can.
You maybe go get an offensive lineman that's all pro. Trade that second-round pick for an offensive lineman that's proven an all pro to kind of shore up your offense.
I'm not touching unless you. I mean, you make calls. You see who's open and you see what the availability is. I'm just afraid to move a second-round draft pick right now. We've been burned by that a little bit. I don't love Poles moving second-round draft picks.
And you don't love Brian Poles drafting fucking offensive lineman because he's proven he can't do it.
Exactly. So that's why you get a punter. This is what I've been telling you.
Although Darnell Wright over the past 2 weeks against good teams has been good.
You see the Caleb throw off the helmet? That was fun.
That was fun. Although the throw for me, that was my favorite. He escapes pocket left and then comes back towards his right.
Yep.
And then finds Cole Kmet over the top and Cole.
Yeah, he's running essentially going out of bounds and he just kind of throws it. Looks like a throwaway and Cole Kmet's just wide fucking open. You're like, that's what we need, baby.
And everybody's saying you can't do that in the NFL.
Wrong. He's doing it in the NFL. All right, we got to stop sucking him off a little bit. Should we move on?
Yeah, let's talk about something else.
Bucs Saints.
Wow. If you took the over in this one, you got it.
That was the over hit in the first quarter. Or the second quarter, rather.
It's impressive.
The Saints scored 27 points in the second quarter, dude.
Like I said, don't sleep on Spencer Rattler. I think if he has more time to develop in the system, he may be someone.
I don't know about all that. I don't know if I believe in him. I think the Buccaneers defense.
He's athletic. He has a great arm.
Yeah, he's
no.
He has a chance to be serviceable. I don't think he's going to be good by any means, but there was times like the stat sheet doesn't look horrible. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions to start your career isn't the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, but it's also not. Watching that game, like he was running around like a chicken with his head cut off. I think they got a lot of good skill players. The fact that their defense was playing this poorly though was. I know the Bucs have a crazy offense, and I know Chris Godwin went off, and I know Baker got the ball out, and Baker was throwing it everywhere. It didn't matter who it was to. You can't let up 51 points if you're going to call yourself a good defense. And the Saints have been saying they're a good defense, and I just don't see it.
Well, they do have a running back playing defensive tackle, catching footballs from Patrick Mahomes in the end zone, taking off. That boy's ran a football. Yeah. I know we're a week late, but I'm just saying that was impressive.
He's quick. I'm with you.
I do like this game though for the Bucs. They had a defensive touchdown. Everybody basically scored. I mean, it was a score fest. Now, the guy that you didn't think would have the game he did, Sean Tucker, have a day.
Yeah.
136 yards, 14 carries. Like, he's going to be on everybody's fantasy radar.
What's up with, is he? Because it's Rashad White back. What's up with the Buccaneers always going second string back? Because Rashad White's been starting and Bucky Irving's been beasting as a backup. Bucky Irving starts last week. Sean Tucker goes crazy. And granted, Bucky Irving had a pretty fucking good game too. He went 14 carries, 81 yards, and a TD. He was averaging almost 6 yards a carry. Like they were just running all over the Saints. Sean Tucker just went crazy, and he's the third string halfback on that fucking team. That's just a running team.
Fresh legs, young kid, 2 rookie
Yes.
running backs. They look great.
Yeah, you can't complain
Rashad
about
White's
that.
been Rashad White. Yeah, goes to show you how fickle running back is in this league.
Hey, man, we see it with the 49ers, too. It's like how it goes. It's like I know we already passed by the 49ers, but that third string running back comes in for 2 plays and goes off for 72 yards and a touchdown. You're like, okay, I guess it just works for everybody. So, yeah, that's how that shit
Yeah,
works. I guess.
why do you need Derrick Henry or,
I think the
McCaffrey?
Ravens are plenty happy with Derrick Henry, and that's a good segue because let's talk Commanders-Ravens. Derrick Henry had a fucking game. Oh, my
He has
God.
more rushing touchdowns than most teams this year.
I know. Oh, my God. And, like,
Guy's a freak.
if you're the Commanders, this is good because Jaden didn't have the best game of all time. Stat line looks pretty good. I'll take that every day, all day. Didn't have the best game of all time, though. Their running game wasn't going crazy. They did end up dropping the game to the Ravens. The Ravens, 4-2, start off the year not playing as well as we think. I think they might be the second best team in the AFC again. I think they might be right back to that spot, in my opinion. Derrick Henry in the playoffs could be paramount to this team if he plays like this. Like,
If he can stay healthy that long.
He's what, 34? Like, how old is he?
He's 33, I think, or 32.
Oh, he's 30. Oh, Jesus. Okay, never mind. I thought he was older.
Still,
But
for a
still,
running back, that's ancient.
He's got a lot of time on his legs. If he can, when he hit max speed this week, I was like, holy shit. Like, he could still get up and go if he needs to. That, Lamar, Zay Flowers having a fucking game, 9 receptions, 132. Why don't you have a day,
I know.
kid?
He didn't get into the end zone, and Mike had him to get into the end zone, but he didn't get into the end zone.
Well, I'm sorry about your bets.
Don't
but
you hate when that
goddamn.
happens, when they blow out a fucking game and you're just like, I should have just taken the over on everything
I
else.
call it that Julio Jones type beat, getting real close and never making it in the damn end zone.
Yeah, Julio Jones. Yeah, that was a Julio Jones thing
Notorious
for a
for
while.
doing that. Yeah, the Baltimore Ravens are really good. The Commanders, I think they're probably fine about this, and also fuck Jack Callis.
Fuck Jack Callis is right.
What a bitch.
All right, let's go to Green Bay.
They're good, man.
Yeah, Jordan Love. It was just going to be a smidge of a warm-up game, and then he's back.
He can play under center again. Run game didn't look great, but it did what they needed to. The Packers are fucking good. Everybody in this fucking division is good, dude. Everybody's good. It sucks.
It's going to be a scary division to play in. There's a potential option here for the Bears to have a great record and not make the playoffs just based off the division we're in.
There's also an opportunity for everybody in the fucking division making the playoffs, essentially. So we'll see if it happens.
That'd be fantastic.
It would be
All
hilarious.
right.
Yeah,
Colts,
Cardinals,
Titans.
rough time.
Yeah. Cardinals just, you kind of knew going into Green Bay with a healthy Jordan Love. I mean, like, everybody scored twice this day. Like
Yeah.
Romeo Dobbs, Jordan Reed. I think Watson got in the end zone too. Like, just anybody was scoring.
Who's there? Tucker, what's his name? Kraft?
Tucker Kraft?
Their tight end. They love that guy.
Yeah, well, he didn't have a hell of a game, but I mean, just spreading the ball around all over the yard.
You want to know why I
Watson,
like the
Dobbs,
Cardinals, though?
Reed. Why?
Dennis Gardeck, dog.
Dennis Gardeck is a dog. He's still dogging. I still think there's an opportunity for him outside of Arizona.
We can see what happens.
For those of you listening, if you don't know who we're speaking of the brother of a friend of the podcast, Ian Gardeck.
Yeah.
So kindly has been on this show before. And we're in talks of potentially
put him on a
doing that.
winning team. Let's get it.
Stay tuned. Get him on a winning team, guys. Now, let's continue through these picks. The Colts and Titans. Okay.
Flacco is now not the starter anymore. A-Rich is back, but fucking dude, I love Joe Flacco. Also, unit. Joe Flacco, like 6'6".
Big dude.
Didn't know how tall that man was. Unit. Will Levis may not start for long. He does not look fucking good, dude.
I'm surprised that Rudolph is out. At this stage of the game, who trades for Bryce Young? Who doesn't?
You send him to Tennessee, he's not having a better time there. Let's be for real. Maybe because he has receivers. Like, you got Ridley and Nuke out there, but, like, It's not looking good for fucking Tennessee right now. Yeah, but Will Levis not long for a starting gig. Do we talk about the rookie? We got another rookie going on right now. We got 4 rookie quarterbacks playing the NFL this week.
Hey, even though the Texans gave him a whooping,
Yeah,
boy, does Drake May look to be pretty good.
he did look good. This is a first off, Texans lucky as fuck getting 2 rookie quarterbacks on their first and second game, respectfully. Like they got both of that. That's real nice in the beginning of the season here. Didn't look bad. A lot of it, granted, he needed to throw the ball a bunch because the Texans put 14 piece on him on the first quarter. If you're a Patriots fan, you got to be happy about this because they're not going to be good. They're probably going to be top 5, maybe top 3, maybe top 2 in the draft as far as records concerned. This is all you can ask for. Lose, but have some positive shit going on.
Have some growth from a young quarterback in your system, and he can make the throws. He's athletic. He looks to be, if he's properly developed, a serviceable, solid starting quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
Trajectory, I think you're looking at like Kirk Cousins, which Kirk Cousins can get you to the playoffs every year.
I mean,
so.
shit. You ask the Falcons, they're probably all right with that. Minnesota was pretty
Right.
good for a really long time. So
Right.
fall goes well. And after that whole mutiny and shit, I'm sure they're kind of happier in New England now than what was happening last week with Jacoby Brissett. He made plays that Jacoby Brissett never would. And I think that's what they were looking for.
I just think, he can't lead the team in rushing yards. That's the one thing you look at.
Ramondre Stevenson back this week. We'll see. I might say something controversial here, Mike.
What's that?
I don't want to get canceled, but the Houston Texans might be pretty fucking good at football, even
Told
without
you.
Nico Collins. Stephon Diggs is pretty good. Tank Dell's
Stephon
pretty
Diggs
fucking good.
They're very good. I mean, Nico Collins is the icing on the cake.
Well,
As
Nico
long as
Collins
the egos,
is top 5 receiver in the league, top 3 receiver in the league.
yeah, as long as the egos don't get in the way.
Right. And Stephon Diggs isn't known for that. They're fine. Browns Eagles.
The Eagles. How are you? Come on. Against the worst team in the league.
I was going to say, speaking of cultural problems on a team, Deshaun Watson is so fucking bad at football now. So bad. To the point where you need to give up on him. And I know that ownership's like, keep playing Deshaun. We pay him too much. And I guarantee you Stefanski's like, I'm sick of playing this motherfucker. He is so bad at quarterback that he literally had a wide receiver go, get me the fuck out of here. I need to go anywhere else. I can't do this anymore.
Good for Amari Cooper. If you didn't hear the news, Amari Cooper got traded to the Buffalo Bills for a bag of footballs.
He's got to be so happy.
They stole him. Good for the Bills, man.
That's the first man. That's the first man to get moved to Buffalo and was like, yes.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who wants to necessarily play in Buffalo
in January. Come on,
like he played in Cleveland, so close enough.
You're right.
And at this stage of his career, go play with Josh Allen. Go be a good role model for some of this young wide receiving room and go ball
Keon
out.
Coleman's king. Yeah, come on now.
Right. So go ball out. All these younger guys on this team, Amir Shakir or Kamir, whatever the fuck that guy's name is.
Khalil Shakir.
Yeah. So now you get an opportunity of having like some 2 bookends. Shakir's that's going to open up stuff for him.
Yeah.
I would say that's trade bait. That's trade bait right there.
I don't know. You can put him in the slot now, and that's because the problem is he didn't have a lot of people to throw to. You throw Shakir in the slot and have Amari on the side?
I said fantasy. Trade bait or try and go get that guy.
Oh, I want to say I wouldn't. Yeah. But also this opens it up for Keon Coleman, and we'll talk about the other trade at the end here. But yeah, the Eagles, on the other hand, you see Nick Sirianni after the game talking shit to the Eagles fans.
What'd he say?
He was just, because they were like saying, fire Sirianni, fire Sirianni. He's like, yeah, you fucking like that, blah, blah, blah. Like talking shit, like, we won this shit. And they were all yelling back at him like, it's the fucking Browns. He goes into the press conference, brings his kids in the press conference so they can't ask him the hard-hitting questions. Like shit like that. We're like, Philadelphia is so over this guy, dude. You can tell. I live in Chicago.
Oh.
I have no connection to Philadelphia, and I can damn well tell that they're over this dude.
They've been over him for a year. It's interesting to me. They go to a
He's
Super Bowl.
Nagy too. He's the second Matt Nagy.
He's kind of Matt Nagy 2.0, isn't he?
Too positive. You don't really know what he's fucking doing. He's making bad play calls, and then everything in the press is brutal. And you're in Philly, and Chicago and Philly are similar in how they react with how their sports go.
Yeah, we're a little bit more forgiving than Philly. Philly,
Yeah,
it's like
they're
you stuck
mean.
once and they're like, get him out of
They're
town.
mean, yeah.
The problem is I don't know who takes this job with the Eagles.
Big
Does
Dom.
Lincoln? The Big Dom.
Yeah, Italian King.
Yeah, Big Dom. Give it to Big Dom. After games, we'll be like, hey, I got a cannoli. Come on.
Hey, it's fucking prosciutto. Hey, hike.
I mean, prosciutto mozzarella sandwich.
Jalen's out there. He's
Vinegar
like,
peppers.
I need fucking hot Chardonnay.
On a semolina. Watch yourself. All right. Let's.
How you doing?
How you doing? That would be a checkout for Jalen Hurts. How you
Easy.
doing? How you
Easy.
doing?
He's like, throw it to the Italian. It's like AJ Brown. That's not how that works. Devonta Smith. Nah.
Okay. So the Chargers and Broncos.
Yeah, man.
This game, okay. Call the Chargers. Kind of thought it would happen.
Yeah, pretty obvious.
Although
still don't think Bo Nix is good. Still don't think
Harbaugh
that.
had a semi-grabber before the game.
He during he had it was like a irregular heartbeat type thing or like heart palpitation or something.
Weird.
Jim Harbaugh goes into the medical tent, which I found to be funny. I mean, I was granted, like, is he okay? He's had this happen to him a couple times. I guess he is okay. Like, it's a steroid or a surgery, but it could get fixed fine. It's like a heart thing.
Well, like middle of John Harbaugh's press conference, they told him he immediately walked out.
Well, yeah, because it can be serious. He wants to make sure his brother's okay, which you should.
Absolutely
love your brothers, love your siblings,
love your brother. You're the sibling.
Your siblings. You already know that. But yeah, I thought it was funny that the head coach is in the medical tent. It's like they released their IR and Jim Harbaugh is listed as questionable for this week's game. It's like he's that coach. You don't have to do that. One. You don't.
Hey, he's in the guys who like ball. So
yeah. And if I'm gonna be any type of guy, I'd like a guy that likes ball. So let's be for real.
Right.
I'm with him.
Exactly.
I'm with him.
Now,
Broncos not good. Chargers better.
Yep. Now
Fair
let's
enough.
talk about it. Yeah. I don't know. I think Bo Nix will eventually turn out to be.
I don't. I think Sean Payton's a scam. Sean Payton's the Ryan Day of the NFL. Scam.
Wins all the time.
Scam. Yeah, wins all the time, but can't beat good teams. So it is what it is.
I mean, the Chargers are decent. They're not good or great.
And they still lost. And Ryan Day can't beat good teams either. Look at that record from 0-5 or from top 5 teams. Can't beat them. Unfortunately. Sorry, Ryan. It is what it is. Justin Fields ousted as the starting quarterback of the Steelers. You see this?
I did not.
It's Russie time, baby. It's Russie time.
How after you win a game 32-0?
I know, and granted, Fields didn't have a crazy game. 14 for 24, 145, a lot on the run.
2.
I know, but Najee Harris was running through everybody. George Pickens doesn't seem like he's happy, but he's never happy. I have a feeling that they told Russell, "Hey, you come here, you're going to start when the time comes. The time's here. We'll see what happens." I don't think I would have made that move. Granted, on team chemistry.
I don't understand how you pull a quarterback after he's won. After you're 5-3,
4-2, 4-2,
yep. 4-2. How do you pull a quarterback that's 4-2?
I don't. But also, maybe
this has got to be like Russ gets his one game.
Yeah,
Russ gets one game. If it doesn't work, then Justin's right back in.
Yeah, because if you do it the inverse, where like Russell plays and then Justin comes in, you can never put Russell back in after that. But if you have Fields, you take him out and Russell goes in, you can throw Fields back in after that. It's fine. But yeah, I mean, we'll fucking see. You want to know who's not good is Aiden O'Connell, and you want to know who's probably going to get traded is Max Crosby, if I were a betting man.
And you know who already got traded, Vince?
Devontae!
Finally reunited with his boy.
His hamstring's pretty good. It's weird how that happens.
I think he was just fine. You ever see the movie Unusual Suspects or Usual Suspects?
Nope.
tremendous film with Kevin Spacey, Benicio del Toro.
Kevin Spacey, tremendous guy, notoriously tremendous guy.
Not a tremendous guy, great actor.
Better actor than a guy for sure.
Better actor than a guy for sure. Very O.J. Simpson of actors.
He's gay. It's fine. It's like that doesn't mean you can have sex with boys. That's not how that works.
Right. Doesn't mean you can go full blown Catholicism in Hollywood. But I digress.
You could be gay, but you also can't have sex with children.
Like I said, it's Hollywood. You can't go full blown Catholicism
You're
all
right.
the time.
Don't diddy that boy. Yeah.
Don't Francis. Okay. I digress. Yeah. Let's move forward into this. So, usual suspects, end of the movie. You're trying to figure out who the guy is. He walks out of the court building after being interrogated. He's limping, then starts walking normally.
Mm-hmm.
That's Devontae.
Yeah.
That's Devontae walking his way out to the PJ to go stay.
Yeah, I was like, he was limping onto the tarmac and he got off in New York. He's like, must be air.
He was traded before the game even started.
Yeah, 100%.
I think the reason Aaron.
I think maybe the end, how that Monday night game turned out, motivated them.
They were like, we gotta go. We need somebody in the red zone
because yeah, they needed that, which we'll get to. But Aiden O'Connell, not a starter. You want to know who else isn't? Gardner Minshew. Figure it out, Oakland or Las Vegas. What are we doing?
Well, in other news, Tom Brady is majority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. And
minority. 10%.
Minority.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I thought majority would be crazy. Still Marks, baby. Marks still owns that shit.
Oh, yeah. Well, either way, maybe he has some pull to get a quarterback in there that's worth the shit. Maybe they are the
He was never good at quarterback, though. No, part of me, okay, so when I saw this happen, and that was obviously a joke, but when I saw this happen, I was like, MJ owns the Hornets.
That's true.
MJ owns the Hornets. Tom Brady, not great in the booth. Not great in the booth,
Maybe the Raiders are the team that go and try and see if Bryce Young can make it work for him.
It's not a good spot for him to go. Who do they got? Who do they got in the skill positions? They got Alexander Madison in the backfield. Who's their backup? Who's their second string wide receiver?
Who are you going to trade other than Devontae? So now you trade Max Crosby for first round draft picks.
Yeah, probably to Lions, I would assume.
Bet the farm on that.
I would hate that.
Yeah, but Aiden Hutchinson's not there, so it really doesn't
matter.
But
next year, that's terrifying. Jesus Christ, that's what I'm saying. Like, oh my God.
Next year, that's really terrifying.
Dude, Great White Hope, Jesus.
We'll get into that. But speaking of the Panthers, they played the Falcons at home and got absolutely fucking destroyed. So no surprise there. Andy Dalton, no good. 38-20. Falcons come in there.
Kirk, good. Falcons going to be competing for that division with the Buccaneers for the rest of the year. I don't think we got to say anything else about that. Next game, holy fucking shit. What was that?
Told you.
Oh my God. I thought maybe... Classic letdown spot. Cowboys play well. Dak Prescott, 17 for 33, 2 INTs, 178. Highest paid player in the league, Mike. Dak Prescott's getting paid more than everybody to throw 178 yards and 2 picks.
This is what happens when your owner thinks he's a GM, and he's not. And he is
Jimmy Johnson.
He is the Jerry Reinsdorf of football.
No, because he spends money
on the wrong things. You could spend money, but that doesn't mean you spend money on the right things.
Jerry Reinsdorf didn't spend money though. He was like Dan Snyder or whatever the fuck that guy's name was.
Doesn't matter.
But I know what you're saying.
You got Jerry threatening to fire the Cowboys radio host. I have the ability to fire you. Now, if he came out
after. Buddy. He came out after. He's like, maybe I overreacted a little bit. It's like, yeah, fucking idiot. Bring back Tony Romo. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do.
Can we talk about Dan Campbell shooting himself in the foot though? Why when you're up 25 points is your starting defense on the field in the fourth quarter?
You play to win the game, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if I wouldn't want to take him out. For those who don't know, Aiden Hutchinson essentially snapped his shin. It was fucked up. The visual of that shit was fucked up. He was on pace to be the defensive player of the year this year. He was going fucking
He's a
Super Saiyan.
destroyer of quarterbacks.
And we knew that when the draft came. And when he got drafted, people were like, I don't know if I'll draft him too early. We're like, he was a dog at Michigan. He's going to stay in the area. He's now out for the year officially, right?
Oh,
I was
no
going to say
doubt.
presumably yes, but officially yes as well.
No doubt.
This is why Max Crosby, Eastern Michigan guy.
Eastern Michigan boy.
Max Crosby from Michigan. Max Crosby probably going to make that fucking move if they can. Yeah, it sucks. But
Well, if you're the Raiders, you're not. You had your lightning in a bottle towards the end of last season. Devontae first to go. Now you look at the dominoes. You're like, okay, let's just fire sale this team. Anybody who's worth anything, go get draft picks and totally rebuild. And I don't think Antonio Pierce. He's not it.
He doesn't feel like he's long for that position.
No.
But the Lions keep on keeping on. 4-1 now, second place in the NFC North. Some fucking how. Again, best division in football. What are you gonna do? Bengals won.
Giants. Barely.
Dude, I don't fucking know, man. I don't know how to feel about this team. 17 points against the Giants. Giants, granted, good defensive line. Surprisingly decent defense overall. Offense didn't fuck themselves over too much, but they also didn't score and they didn't do much and they can't run the ball. Bengals, on the other hand, Joe Burrow doesn't get the ball in the end zone.
Well, he got the ball in the end zone, not the way he normally does.
Well, yeah, Joe Burrow not throwing the ball into the end zone, I guess is what I'm saying.
You got a rushing touchdown, but you're not banking on that to win football games.
No,
So.
T. Higgins had a really good game, but this was like one of those where, yeah, the Bengals should win that game. The Bengals and the Giants are equivalent teams right now as far as records are concerned. So I guess that's how that game goes. But I think all these preseason, what were they, third best odds to win the Super Bowl this year? You might as well tuck that to bed. That shit ain't
I'd
gonna
agree with
happen.
that statement. I think half the league and half of our listeners would also agree with that statement.
Yeah.
Now,
I'll contract malaria if they win the Super Bowl. That's my promise to you.
don't be like those guys on the internet who say, I'll eat a dog turd if this happens. And then people are like, oh, you said you'd eat a dog turd, see?
I
Vince,
promise you, online viewers, I will contract malaria if the Bengals win the fucking Super Bowl this year. I promise you. That shit ain't happening.
save that clip,
Do it.
post it. There you go, Vince. So that's the clip we're going to post this week on the socials.
You listeners save that clip. You remember when I said this shit.
No, you need to save it.
Fuck no, bitch. That's not my job. I'm telling you right now. They're not going to win. Why would I save it?
See,
They're not going to win.
around it. He's dancing around it, people.
Why would I save it? They're not going to win.
I'm going to contract malaria if the Bengals. Okay.
Why don't
season left.
Why don't you save that tonight? You can keep it, and then you can tuck it away for when the Bengals have their Super Bowl parade. That's not going to fucking happen this year. You can give me malaria. Does that work?
I don't know where the fuck I'm going to find this virus, but all right, let's do it.
Yeah, you got malaria in a vial?
Hey, calling up local pharmacies. Listen, my friend lost a bet and decided he was going to contract malaria. What can you do for me?
We found a flight to Africa is very difficult. Can you get us malaria in Chicago?
Sir, is it possible that you're still at home? Yes, I am. Okay, the FBI's on the way. Thank you. All right, I digress. So the Bills and Jets played a very close one. They seem to play this game a lot.
Yeah.
And if you've watched the overall, man, oh man, this game was close down at the very end.
Very end.
The Jets, man, they just are figuring out ways to give games up right now, similar to my USC Trojans. And Aaron Rodgers, great game, 294, 2 touchdowns, 23 to 35. This interception he threw, though, was just impressive effort-wise by the Buffalo Bills.
Yep.
I don't know who that guy is. I'm going to find his name, who made this epic interception. But holy hell, Taron Johnson?
Yep.
Wow. Just wow. Just basically like stepped in front of Mike Williams, who granted was on his ass.
Mike Williams.
And just took the ball out of his hands.
Mike Williams lost a spot on the roster today. Not actually, but he's going to like 5th string wide receiver with Devontae
If you're just
Adams
joining us, Devontae Adams is now a New York Jet. and a
Yeah, if you don't
definite
know this
focal
by
point.
now, what the fuck are you doing?
Talk about it
If
now
we're
for the
your
third
only
time.
news, then goddamn. Um, Speaking of giving the game away, Greg the Leg Zerline
He's got to be out of a job.
feels like it, or at very least they're bringing somebody in there to motivate him. But 2 for 4, couple of those. One of them was a bad hold, I think. The other one was just a bad kick. Aaron gets
Yeah.
Devontae. Defensive struggles fixed with Devontae Adams. The fact that Brees Hall was good, he's going to continue to be good. Garrett Wilson not getting as much as he needed to for the beginning of the year, fixed with Devontae Adams. Coaching turmoil, locker room issues, fixed with Devontae Adams. Woody Johnson issues, fixed with Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams fixes everything. They're fine. None of it's a problem. They got a
Hassan
wide
Reddick.
they got a wide receiver. That's gonna fix everything.
See, Drew Rosenhaus got
Yeah.
Hassan Reddick, and they're
Yep.
in conversations with the Jets. So the Jets may have 2 All-Pro players coming in shortly.
No, Hassan Reddick's gonna get traded before he gets signed for sure. We'll see. What
I
happens.
doubt it. I doubt it. I think he wants to play ball. I think he had poor management prior and now has real management. And they told him, you better wake the fuck up if you're never playing in the NFL ever again.
Yeah, it's like Le'Veon Bell. He ruined his career doing that. But
Correct.
Buffalo Bills really good. Buffalo Bills with Amari Cooper,
Even
scary good. Because James Cook's gonna start clicking more. Keon Coleman's gonna get one-on-ones more often. Josh Allen's gonna get some help. The defense is playing pretty well. Hey man, it's a 3-team race in the AFC if you ask me.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, let's
you
pick
disagree?
our teams.
Tell me why, Mike.
Ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why.
Nothing but yeah. It's
I
Ravens,
look at
Chiefs,
the AFC.
Bills.
You can't count out the Texans, man.
That's true. That's a damn good point. Thank you.
You just can't count out the Texans.
I
They're
agree.
too fucking good. Defense is too good. Nico Collins comes back. Their record isn't anything to like, oh my God, I'm worried about them. So
I agree.
yeah.
That's a good point.
Right?
That's a good point.
I mean, they got the Packers this week. It's going to be like one of the best games on the record.
Oh yeah.
So let's pay attention to that. And speaking of which, let's get into our week 7 pick.
All right, you're
shall
leading
we?
them. I'm picking first, Mike. Let's get it.
Okay, he thinks this is going to save him. Let's get into it. So
I know, we switch off.
the
Come
day
on
you're
now.
listening to this is Thursday. We got the Broncos and Saints. Smidge of a snoozer. 2 rookie quarterbacks blowing it down in lovely New Orleans. I don't know where I was going with
Is
that
it
one,
Rattler
but
this week for the Saints?
yep.
I'll take the Broncos. Feels like they're going to win this one.
This seems to be a pick 'em. Mike takes the Saints.
All right.
Saints don't lose twice.
I mean, that's fair. Either team could win. Who fucking knows? Saints.
This
All
is
right.
a pick 'em. All right, Patriots at Jaguars. Both teams looking to get off the schneid.
Oh my
Who do you got,
God.
Vince? Look at a London town.
I think the Patriots want to lose. I think the Jaguars need to get a win in London because they're the Jaguars. And that's where the majority of their fans are. So I'll take the Jaguars.
Okay, I like your thought process. I do like a touchdown in this game.
By somebody? Yeah, me too. I think there'll be
Played for
one.
the Bills. He played for the Bills. Looking for a name. Gabe Davis. I like Gabe Davis for a
Okay, I'm like, what
touchdown.
the fuck
Trevor
are you
Lawrence has
talking
been
about?
looking for him. Not gonna lie,
Okay.
totally spaced on that
I
one.
got
All
you.
right,
Yeah,
next
he dropped
game.
the
We got the
ball.
Lions and the
Are you
Vikings.
taking the Jags?
Yeah, give me the Jags.
See, this is a harder job than you thought, Mike. I told you.
Every now and
Okay,
again.
check. Lions, Vikings.
Lions, Vikings in a dome in good old Minnesota.
Where
Who you
Jared
got?
Goff's the most comfortable, Aiden Hutchinson being out, Lions going crazy, Vikings coming off a bye. Vikings can't be undefeated for the rest of the year, and because of that, I will take the Detroit Lions.
On the
Thank you.
contrary, it is one of the most difficult things to do in sports to win 3 games in a row, and I do not think against a division foe who's playing fucking lights out right now, especially at home. Jordan
Too much
Addison coming
rest.
back.
Too much
off.
rest.
No, not too much rest at all.
Okay.
Defense is playing good. Highest blitz rate in all of the NFL. I like the Minnesota Vikings. Sam Darnold stays undefeated and still on pace to be the comeback player of the year.
Okay.
Give me the Vikings. All right, moving into game number 4. We have the Titans and the Bills. Vince,
Buffalo.
what do you got?
It's not even a question. Titans suck
Yep,
ass.
give me the Bills as well. And give me a Amari Cooper touchdown week 1. I feel like they're going to target him. What?
You're up. Go. Next game.
Oh, Dolphins. I thought we were getting somewhere. Dolphins and Colts. Dolphins at Colts. We got A-Rich coming back. Who do you got?
I got the Colts. Give me the
Okay.
Colts.
Give me the Colts as well.
Okay.
Seahawks at Falcons. Bird matchup for all of our bird furries in the audience. This is for
Ooh.
you.
Cute.
Vince, who do you take in?
Falcons.
We got Seahawks at Falcons. You got the Falcons.
In Atlanta, come on now.
See, another team that I think coming off of a big blowout win against a team they've never faced before that's upset. 2 close games against pretty decent teams. I like the Seahawks. Give me the Seahawks. Mike's rolling with the Seahawks. I'm going with the other bird.
Geno Revenge Tour. I like it.
Geno Revenge Tour. All right. Now we maybe have the game of the week. We have the Texans at Packers. Vince, who you taking in this lovely game?
Fuck the Packers. Texans all day.
Fuck the Packers. Give me the Texans.
Yeah.
Well, I like a Joe Mixon touchdown. He's back. He's healthy. He's going to be running on them, similar to the way Saquon did. All right. We got a NFC East matchup going to the Meadowlands. We have the Eagles and the Giants. Vince, who you got?
All right. Give me the Eagles. The Giants are so bad.
I agree with that. Give me the Eagles as well. Take the under. All right. Bengals at Browns. No Amari Cooper. Bengals still getting off the schneid. Who you got?
Bengals all day. Come on now.
Yep, give me the Bengals as well. All right, we got the Raiders at the Rams. 2 teams that are poopy.
Rams.
Same, give me the Rams.
The Raiders are so bad too. Wow.
Not a lot of parity this week, but we're doing the best
well, at
we
the beginning
can.
there was. Yeah.
All right, now we have the lovely Panthers at the Commies. Panthers going in.
You know what's going to happen here is the Commanders are going to fuck the Panthers up. They're going to destroy them, and then they're going to be riding high, and then the big bad Bears are coming in the next week, and they're like, fuck you. You guys liked what you did against the Panthers there, huh? And then we're going to go and eat some ass. So I'll take the Commanders here.
Eating ass is the name of the game. All right.
Stay in class.
Got the Chiefs at the 49ers Super Bowl rematch event. So you take it.
This is the week that all undefeateds lose a game. I'm taking the 49ers.
Ooh. I just can't do it. Give me the Chiefs.
Okay.
Chiefs still undefeated. It's what they do.
Yep.
All right, we got the Jets at the Steelers. Is Russell Wilson the savior, Vince? What are your thoughts?
I'm taking the Jets. Devontae gets 4 or 5 touchdown passes, and it's all good in the Meadowlands, even though they're playing in Pittsburgh. So I'll take the Jets.
I really can't have any faith in Russell Wilson. I like the Jets as well. Give me the Jets.
Do you remember last year, all year, I was like, if I ever pick the Broncos, you have to tell me no. So this carries on. I can't take the Steelers with Russell Wilson as starting quarterback. That's how it goes.
I agree with that statement. I agree with it. Okay, now we have the Ravens at Bucks.
Yeah.
Going to Tampa. Could be hot. Could be a warm one. Although Lamar is from Florida. So what are your thoughts here, Vince?
I think that the Buccaneers won by too much last week, and I think the Ravens are top 3 team in the league, so I'm taking the Ravens.
Ooh. Interesting pick here. Bucks are good at home, and they usually beat good teams at home.
The pirate ship, if you will.
Give me the Bucks.
Okay.
Something's telling me. And then, last but not least, we have the Chargers at Cardinals on a Monday night matchup. Vince, what are your thoughts?
My first thoughts are, my second thought is Cardinals, I guess. I don't fucking know.
I'm rolling Harbaugh. Give me Harbaugh.
Okay. You're taking the Chargers, and that's week fucking 7, baby.
Got some picks. No Bears this week, so it's kind of a
Kind of happy
sad
about that.
week. Kind of happy they get a week to get right and
Yeah.
really figure out what they did wrong, and then we have the rookie matchup we've all been waiting for.
True. Fact. Let's get it, dude.
Let's get it. We may have a quarterback in Chicago, and you just don't know how to feel about it, right?
It's unprecedented territory, my friend. What are you gonna do?
You just don't know how to feel about it. It is unprecedented territory. You do hope that this can continue, and that we continue to get right. Like if we can
Knock
have
on
an
woods.
offense that puts up 28 points a game with a defense like we have, good
Scary
things are
season.
on the
Let's get scary,
horizon. Bear
kid.
season, bear down, and in this league, you need a QB more than you need anything. And then, of course, people, especially in the league of podcasting, what we need more than anything are your lovely eyeballs and ears. So, if you're listening to this and you haven't subscribed or listened or shared it, do it. Of course, this is the year of the sibling, as we have alluded to, of course, in this episode more than once. So share it to your brother, share it to your sister, share it to your sister from another mister, or your brother from another mother. And of course, do it. Air it out. If you got something you feel passionate about, let us know about it. We just may put you on the podcast. Last week, we didn't have any submissions, so what the fuck? And then, of course, we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Talking Tales with Mike and Vince. Oh, you know. Jazzy beats while we dispense. Yeah, you know.